Hello, you sillies. You in there? You're wondering, wait a minute, it's 10:02. What's happening? Well, I'll tell you what's happening. We're about to go live with Ben Bateman, Kate Mulligan, Brett Sheridan, Ben Goddard, RB3, and me. And you guys are going to be in here, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And everybody's going to be so nice to each other, right? I'll see you in a second. On December 7th, the Schmoedown Spectacular comes to downtown Los Angeles. So does the first ever Schmoedown Fan Expo, the first ever Schmoedown Minicon, if you will. You will get to mingle with the great Schmoedown players of the past, present, and the future. Schmoedown memorabilia, new exclusive Schmoedown merch will be there for you guys. Talk to some of your players. Talk to myself and Mark. Take pictures with the belts. Take pictures with some of your favorite competitors. You want to talk movies with the Outlaw? Come and do it. You want to just have some smack talk with Kalinowski? Come and do it. What a weekend it's going to be. December 7th, the Schmoedown Spectacular and the Fan Expo. Come and enjoy it. Tickets on Schmoedown Live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to SEN Live, Schmoedown Entertainment Network. I'm Kristian Harlow. Thanks for joining us here today on this Tuesday. A couple days away from the big movie trivia Schmoedown Spectacular for SchmoedownLive.com at downtown LA. Joining me on the desk, Kate Mulligan, Brett Sheridan. Ben Goddard over there with a brand new cam anyway. Oh, looks nice, doesn't it?
Look at that, bagel boy.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. And shifting over to the engineer, the main man in town, RB3. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
How are you?
Mike's muted. There we go.
Nice to see you. And joining us on the table, he is days away from potentially a date with destiny. He goes up against William the Beast Bibiani in the Ultimate Schmoedown Singles Finals, part of the Five Horsemen, one of the big contenders and the finalist of the tournament. Ben, the boss, Bateman, what's up, dude?
What's up, everybody? Very excited to be here. Excited to be back. Just a couple of days away.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great.
Are you?
I'm feeling locked in.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. A few weeks ago, I was having a harder time. I had written out this whole big thing that I was doing, getting ready for the match, and I had all this stuff I was looking into. And for a couple weeks there, I was having a hard time, like really sinking into it.
Sure.
But the last couple weeks have been really good.
Good. All right, you're feeling good, and I think we'll get into all that stuff, obviously. The Schmoebot's going to have a field day because Bateman's here, I know. I do want to say, before we get into this, and by the way, yesterday, we're going to start the Super Chats and the Streamlabs today a little earlier because there was a lot of Super Chats that I didn't get to, so we're going to start the show off.
We had to have a fight yesterday.
We did have to have a fight. So I'm going to make sure that we do that. So if you're joining us for the first time, we are run off of both streamlabs.com/theschmoedown and Super Chat. You can submit questions throughout the entire duration of the show. We're going to get to them. And I would also like to give a big shout out over here to the Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up. So I had seen over at Collider, they have this the Mortal Kombat machine. And I had seen online that they're doing this Star Wars one. And so I reached out, and and someone sent me an email about it. And someone sent me an email about it.
It's working.
Oh, yeah, it works. And someone sent me an email about it. And
I'll be back.
My friend Aaron over there, and I said, listen, man, I'd love to talk about this thing. Because this is an old school. This is like back in like the 80s they had this arcade. This is like one of the original Star Wars games that you could ever play. So he's like, yeah, I'll shoot it over to you. So our friends over at Arcade 1-Up, they sent it over. Brett put it together yesterday because I'm not going to be able to do that. But listen to some of this stuff so to let you guys know. The Star Wars at Home arcade feature, it features a real fight yoke and control buttons. The artwork featured on both from cabinet and included rides is based on original arcade machine artwork. The cabinet stands just over. I mean, we looked it comes at first we didn't know how it was going to be because it looked small. I was like, oh man, my 2-year-old.
Like
I said my 2-year-old's going to play, but they have like a whole stand for it, which is really
so that's an option. So if you want to do it just for the kids, you can. Yeah, you could do it. It's
but we are children here. So although my 2-year-old and my 8-year-old played it yesterday, I had to rip them off of it. Features a light up marquee, full color 17 display, and dual speakers to allow for endless hours of gaming. And the Star Wars at Home arcade features the original arcade version of the classic games based on Star Wars A New Hope, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Return of the Jedi. You have all the old school. When I was playing it this morning, and like first, and Goddard was playing it also, but you hear Obi-Wan. Have you ever played this game?
No.
See, this is before your time. So like I asked Brett. Brett remembers this game for sure. This is like the classic Star Wars.
It was
game.
like the one.
It was the one. Like Riley right now, if I'm going to show Riley this, and he's gonna lose his mind. Riley has not been here yet. That's the one way I'll be able to get him over from Colliders so he can play this.
So I'll tell you, it's like I know that you get like mics and stuff, and you get like movie premieres and things like that because you run this network. But I feel like getting this is a real success. This is the sign. Like when I think about it as a kid, I'm like, if I could be successful, what would happen? Like they would send me an arcade machine to my house, and I would get to play it in my garage. That's what I would.
I literally said that. So for those people who were, again, before their time, there was a show on the air called Silver Spoons. It was with Ricky Schroeder. Remember it?
Yes.
And I remember watching that as a kid, and his dad had an arcade in his. And I was like, I'm gonna get rich one day, and I'm gonna have it. And I was like, I'm not rich, but I do. But our friends, once again, over at Arcade One Up, they sent this over here. And there we go. So that's going to be our new member. Will be there behind Brett. It's pretty awesome. So
if that thing could get a character voice like the Schmoebot maybe and talk to us.
No, that scared me. I had to turn the volume down on it. You can turn it's got volume, an on-off switch. It's great.
It'll keep going. It'll keep cycling.
It'll keep doing that. So we want to make sure it's.
Brett's going to start just doing voices. Do you hear that?
I'm just saying.
Why would you turn it off? What's wrong with you?
No, you like we're showing
What are you talking about?
So we don't hear it?
You can't hear it.
The
It's
volume
off.
is
The volume's
off.
off.
Can't hear it.
Do you hear it? You hear that's just voices in your head.
I don't know what I'm hearing
Yeah,
because we've got
voices.
these noise-canceling headphones on. Whenever somebody says something to me, I'm like, what?
You're a lunatic. I updated the rankings of the teams last night.
I saw that,
You got a big match, by the way.
Yeah.
The Action Army.
That dropped today.
No, well, Patreon, I think, is going to get it today. It'll air on Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's you and Andrew Guy once again. The final battle this season of Team Action Civil War.
Be a good match.
It's going to be good, and if you could possibly once again be playing you could be playing the Founding Fathers. You could be playing Roka and Merle and playing potentially 3 times.
Yeah.
What would it be for you walking out of there, because you haven't won a belt yet and everybody lets you know it. If you walked out of there,
We wouldn't let you know it if you didn't just talk about how everybody who has a belt is a worse player than you.
well, if you walked out of there, what would it mean to you on Saturday night if you walked out with the singles on the right hand and the teams on the left?
I can't stop smiling like an idiot. Think about it. It'd be huge, man. It'd be massive. I mean, like, I just
bittersweet that you have to do it against Roka and Merle, though.
No, no, those guys are my stablemates, but I mean they're great players. So
right. So you'd want to beat the best.
You'd want to beat the best, and I mean it would be Roka. Like I don't think Roka's the best player of all time. I've been pretty clear about this. I've talked to Roka about it. I've actually said it to his face.
I don't think he says it. He wouldn't say that either.
Yeah, but I like to disparage in the all time where he is because I think it pisses him off. It's funny. But anyway, being real about it, I just think like he's one of the all time legend. Not just players, but characters. So if I was to get a belt off Roka, that would be.
Well, he's still never beat him. You played him 2 or 3 times.
Well, I've beaten him in teams once.
Oh, you beat him in teams once. That's right.
And then
you and Andrew. Yes,
it's like one of my favorite matches I ever played.
Yeah, right.
That
was the first time you ever played.
That's the Iceman match.
Yeah, that was right. Okay.
Classic.
All right, so I'm going to start here with Super Chats because, like I said, we can turn the Schmoedown on right away. Might as well, because we have so much to talk about. The Black Widow trailer dropped today. Rian Johnson said that he wants to direct an episode of Mandalorian. People are losing their minds over that comment. We'll talk about all that. So let's get to these Super Chats from yesterday because there were so many that came in, and Kate just had to argue with everybody. All right. Actually, no, it was Ben. Farhan Muniam says, I'm worried about episode 9. JJ is the most overrated director ever.
Oh, yeah. RB3. I wish we had a camera on you at that moment.
Coming in strong.
RB3 took a
big
knuckle bite.
I just thought that was funny.
Do you think he's overrated?
I don't know how you can rate somebody who doesn't make he just makes commercial movies. I mean, you can't really.
You don't think you wouldn't overall you would say that he's more of a movie maker than a cinema. He's not making a cinema like Scorsese.
Nah. Listen, we're not gonna compare him to. I'm not even gonna compare him to like Ryan Coogler. You know what I mean? Like he's doing.
Popcorn movies. So you agree with this guy? Is what you're saying?
He's a studio guy.
So in the nicest way possible, you disagreed with this guy.
I just think like MI3 is a great movie, and I mean I've only ever seen Wrath of Khan once and Star Trek 09 like 4 times, the only ones I've ever seen. But I love Star Trek 09. That movie's great. I didn't even bother with the sequels, but that one movie is fantastic. I think you can say he's a bad director. That's ridiculous.
I don't think. Well, he thinks he's overrated.
Not bad.
I don't think he's overrated, but I'm curious to see what happens with episode 9. Taking of the source. Why didn't Mando use his gunship against the AT-ST? He didn't have his gunship with him, right?
Yeah, it was way out in the
it was in
boonies.
it was in the boonies.
It's the 4th episode. I haven't watched the 4th one.
Yeah, he was in the boonies.
Well, it's the one where the Mandalorian dies. So.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Also, is that question a spoiler? The 18. Never mind.
Nah. And by the way, so the Schmoebot is on, and I know that Ben Bateman, you've been a victim of the Schmoebot in the past, but Ellis is also coming on too, so don't feel too bad. I'm sure he'll get it also.
He gets a lot of it.
Yeah. Austin Mulligan. So far, 2 out of the 4 episodes have been Mandalorian helping bring peace to someone's homeland, and I hope he isn't going to just stop in on planets and help all the villains everywhere he goes. What's your thoughts? I actually don't agree that 2 out of the 4. I only think that 1 out of the 4 has been about that. The first one that when he went, you're referencing the first episode when Nick Nolte shows up. And Nick Nolte's like, I just want to help you because I got my planet. That's not why he was there. He was there. No. He was there for a mission to find the kid. That just happened to be a side thing. Okay, if you do your mission, you're also helping me out. Yeah. The 4th one is all about him doing that. That's why he's looking to get sanctuary, but he's there. The mission is he could just turn away, but he decides to help this village out. I don't want to see that happen every episode too, but it hasn't happened 2 out of the 4 times. It only happened once.
Did you guys get in on the whole Western versus samurai?
I don't want to have anything to do with that.
That's a big fan of the boss. Good luck today and on Saturday. Let me know if you need anything. Your friend the Digital Wheel.
That's good.
That's good. He got me.
That was good. The Digital Wheel, a big form of controversy with Ben Bateman.
That's a ridiculous claim that the Digital Wheel had anything to do with that.
No, it had
match.
Nothing to do with it.
Because it'd be you that I'd be blaming. So.
Yeah, no, true. Everybody else did. Ken Jack, 1984. I've been loving this show. Usually can't watch live home due to a snow emergency, though. Kristian, Kate, and Brett are all doing so good. I have laughed to the point of tears. Clark is a great addition. Have her on more. Yeah, Clark was pretty great yesterday. That was the first time you met Clark.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, she's
good.
great.
She's really good.
Great.
She's a real bitch.
He's kidding.
God. Like I want to say something. I've heard she gets some really bad comments, and I would say that is the sweetest person on earth, and leave her the hell alone.
Where did she get bad comments?
She gets some she's opinionated about movies and things, and I think especially if you're talking about DC films, you probably get.
This is back in the day. She caught some. I mean, she's caught some heat in the past, but Brett's very protective, and I like that about him.
Do you defend my honor?
Of course,
never. You should send the text he sent me.
I was going to say,
David Dett Muscle
I have no
Holloway.
honor to defend.
Hey Alexa, say you farted. Thank you so much, David. Speaking of, I have a question for you guys, and I want to know honestly, and this is very serious, and I know we promised we wouldn't talk about this stuff, but I got to shift, and I'm going to ask you first, RB3, because I feel you can help me out with this. Is it wrong to fart in the car before the valet gets in?
This is. I knew you're such a bad actor.
Is it wrong?
Honestly,
Yeah,
Is it wrong? You liked me.
We
in
all knew
Grassman
where it was
Straws.
going.
But I'm asking that legit because there's a follow up to this question.
Yeah.
Is it wrong to fart in the car before the valet gets in?
Honestly, you just gotta let it rip. It
Right,
doesn't
so you're
matter
okay
the
with it.
timing. Yeah.
Is it wrong?
The boss and baby carrots on the same day. Oh my, who can I annoy more?
Yep.
Kate, in regards to yesterday's question, it's 4:15 a.m. here in
Go.
Queensland,
he has to wake up early
Australia.
to make that money.
All right, no, I love that. Let's
God
get
bless
back to
you,
let's
Anthony
get back to
Nugent.
the importance here. Is it wrong? Ben, I'm going to ask you. Is it wrong to fart in the car before the valet gets in?
As long as you tip him, you're good.
Well, let me ask you another question now. What if it's $25 to pay there? Now, then it's required to fart in the car before he gets in, right?
If it's $25 to valet,
Yeah.
then it's okay.
You should probably shit in the car.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you should.
Okay. All right, good.
I think
just wanna make
honestly,
sure.
I think if you got to fart and you're somebody who farts a lot, I fart a lot.
Yeah.
There are anywhere you are.
Anywhere
I don't
you
think-
want, but it's your
Yeah.
car, right? So, but if
your
it's $20,
car.
it's $25, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You walk into that thing. This all stemmed
So
because
glad to have the greatest member of Team Action on SEN tomorrow. And we will get to celebrate his victory over who is the bitch. Hash cast iron gang hash knitters with attitude. Beardless Bateman is going down.
Is that Belford? That sounds like Belford.
it was definitely Belford.
That's
Knitters
Belford.
with attitude.
I'll see you this weekend, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Okay, good. Cliff.
Wait, why did this all start? You were starting to say that.
It all started because I felt terrible this morning. I had you know, you do what you have to do in the morning. You do what you have to do in the morning, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bathroom time. It was time to go. Right.
Yeah.
I don't poop.
The housekeeper came over this morning.
Oh.
And usually she's in the other room. So this morning, my wife goes, "How dare you?" to me. She goes, "How dare you?" And I go, "What?" She's like, the woman's trying to do her job. How do you do that? I go, "It's the morning." I go, "She's usually on the other side." And I was like, well, I don't want anyone to have to walk into that and do work. And then so I said to myself, I started thinking about, unless it was the valet. And the valet charges me $25, $30, and it's my car. This poor woman was just doing her thing. And
I got one for you on this subject.
What?
All right. So every day, your body, everybody's body, right? You process food, whatever, the way your stomach. It's the same schedule for pretty much every day, unless you like drastically change it.
Yeah,
Wait,
So you get up in the morning. Yeah. Okay. So you get up in the morning, you do your business, right? You eat a meal, some coffee. Every Monday, by the time I finish with Action Movie Anatomy, I get over to Collider to go do Action Guys. Right? My lunch is kind of processed. I sit down in the studio to do the show with Drew, and it's 3:30. We start doing the show.
Spaceship coming.
And by the end of by 4:30, I have destroyed the studio. I mean, I can't help it, and it's awful.
Right.
And every time at the end of the show, Drew's kept a pretty good poker face. He doesn't even.
He told
say
me. Well, I
anything
asked him about it.
Yeah.
And he said, of course, he's
Says
been doing
every
the
show.
show with you forever.
for years. But
You do it
my
in here,
question is,
you're going to lose backstage.
Riley and Fernandez tape Rule of 2 immediately
Oh,
afterwards.
so you just
always,
wrecked them.
They always do.
Yeah.
And the room's got about 20 minutes to clear by the time we leave. And I'm wondering, they've never said
I'm
anything.
sure he does. My favorite comment ever, Fernandez, and anytime I think about it, it makes me laugh. At the old bathroom, did I ever tell you this, RB3? So you remember that old bathroom at the old Collider Studios?
Yeah, yeah.
That thing was it
That's
was
awful.
it was a tragedy.
horrible.
It was a
It was like a public
tragedy. It was
restroom.
like but it was but not just that. There was like one stall and like one urinal. It was a
Yeah.
disaster.
Yeah.
So there were two stalls because we walked in there together once and somebody just did something in there. It was I mean, it was just awful.
I mean, that's how it always smelled.
But
though,
but this was something special, right? And so Fernandez walks in and he goes, "Oh, somebody had a bad day." It makes me laugh every time somebody had a bad day.
I can't stop thinking about the fact that you have a housekeeper.
My wife? Do you understand me? You understand my wife? My wife, like she with the kids and with
I'm
us.
like really stuck on that.
How many times in a month does you get the house cleaned?
Once. She goes once a month.
I have a house for my 1-bedroom
Yeah.
apartment. I bring somebody in.
Yeah.
That was something we had to get rid of a long
Oh,
time.
so you had one too. So shut your ass.
Yeah, when I lived in a 900 square foot condo in West Hollywood with no children.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. So we have children. That's the whole
I
point of why
know.
you get
That's
one in the
when
first place.
that's when I need one. Is when I have
if it was-
children.
If it was up to me,
Really?
I know.
Yeah, because then
I
you
don't
can poop
need-
in peace.
You'd
I
clean
do
the house
whatever I
yourself?
want to do. What I know, I'd figure out a way to do it. But it's
You figure out a way. You've
I
been
would be in here.
asking your family to do it.
I would no. I would be in here if I didn't have a family, and I would just all I would be doing for 24/7. I would be in this fucking
living
office.
in
I'd either be watching shit. I would be working. I would be on this wonderful arcade system. That's all I would be doing. You would never see me. I would be a hermit in this place.
It's a wonderful arcade system.
That's all I would do.
I just
all
want
I
to
would
see, hey, Poopery, could we get sponsored?
I know we should. It's a good way to do it.
I carry that around with me. You
Yeah.
guys are
Oh,
like,
great.
Oh, there we
we
go.
have to follow up Clark Wolf with this guy. Can't wait to watch the family destroy this schlong slurper. Shout out to Kristian, Kate, Brett, RB3, and Bagel Boy.
Bagel Boy.
Hashtag Action Army.
That's right. See, and that's the
Hashtag
whole,
Bagel
yeah.
Boy.
Now, but you see now because yesterday was the classiest of Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nice today.
We begged.
Yeah. Gloves off.
Maybe one schlong comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not even directed at her. It was good.
All right, let's get,
Also, this is the part where Kristian's like, the reason we were talking about this today was because when our valet pulled up today.
Wait, valet for your house?
I know. I need to get one. I think it's. I'm bringing in.
Hold on a second, sir.
Yeah, it's true. All right, let's see.
Thanks,
Brendan Hanna's going to start working here next week.
Yeah. When the footman arrived,
All right,
you
let's.
didn't bring a house butler with you or a footman? What is this, fucking Downton Abbey around here?
Rude to
Jesus.
fart while someone is shining your shoes.
You
I
fuckers.
hope my wife doesn't get rid of our housekeeper. Be out on the street. Farting in about that poor ballet.
The poor valet.
Poor ballet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
Oh, I hate you all. Okay, so
Yeah,
Cliff,
it's
Elor,
mutual.
Brett, and Kate. They're having me rolling at work, looking crazy. And Kristian, get Jay Washington on here. I have spoken. I actually talked to Jay about it 2 weeks ago or last week. He's going to come on for sure because he's going to be at the Spectacular. All of the current managers, well, all 10 of them actually, but all the ones that have been announced are going to announce the team names and the logos. All that stuff will be revealed. So there's so much. And I started thinking about your match because Dagnino's got to be losing his mind because if you don't win that first match, then you're up for grabs. And if the Founding Fathers do win, there's no chance he keeps you. There's no chance.
Well,
How? You don't think you'll go in the first round?
well, I mean,
You will, of course, go in the first
You'll go in the
I'll
first
even say
round.
what
that.
if if I win the team's tournament, win the team's title, then I'm not up for grabs.
I'm saying, but then
You're saying
but
if I
then-
win
but then
nothing,
Roka,
then I'm
what
up
I'm
for
talking
grabs.
about.
Yeah.
I'm saying then Roka and Merle would be. I'm
Protected.
just saying, like he was gonna be freaking out. So if you don't win that first match, right?
Yeah.
And then you win the team's title. You and Riley will be protected, but then those two aren't because they're going to go in the first.
There's a
But I'm-
possibility the Horsemen stay
Together.
actually intact, right?
Yes.
Because if we can win teams and singles, then Finstock keeps us in our group of five stays
Yes
exactly
and no.
as is.
If you win both the team's titles and the singles,
Right.
then no. Then they're probably going to go to somebody else. But if they keep the team's titles, you win the singles titles, then the Horsemen will stay together.
Throw the team match.
I know, but then Dagnino,
Not
no
happening.
chance. Yeah, but then Dagnino wouldn't get a pick until like the 5th round or something.
Does he keep the five horsemen? Is that what the name of the faction is?
No, he's changed the name of the faction. The Horsemen can live inside of this faction, but
Because he'll have more than five people.
he's gonna have like 10 people. So
Yeah.
the 5 Horsemen will still be, if he keeps them, will
Yeah.
be part of it. But
Right.
but no, he's
What's
I
up,
know his
Sen
name.
Crew? Big fan here from Australia. Got a fun question for you all. If you could go on vacation anywhere in the Star Wars universe, where would you go and what would you do? I'd go to Tatooine and watch a pod race. Love you guys and I have spoken. Bateman knows he can't beat Guy without the
different one.
digital wheel. In Houston, Benedict Bateman was like Bagel Boy and the Brugers. Bateman is the best horseman of all time. After Hannah. # this is the action way.
I've counted 5 times today that Goddard's ignored when we say Bagel Boy. He doesn't
No,
acknowledge
he
it.
doesn't. He can't hear it. Over
he
there.
can't hear
No,
it.
He can't hear it over there.
I thought it was really
Yeah, he-
tactful. I thought he was really making a point.
I feel like he's gonna have a lot of feuds. After I saw what he did yesterday
Yeah.
with that argument with her, he's gonna have a lot of feuds. This guy.
Where do you think what Goddard? What pick are you guessing you're gonna go? Like if you just had to guess what number?
How many rounds are there?
There'll be 6 televised picks.
6 televised picks.
There'll be 6
60
televised.
picks.
Well, but there'll be 6 televised picks, and then the managers will have to have 8 slots filled by that Sunday, the 12th. And if they want to fill up all 10, they can, but they don't have to.
I'm guessing I'm going to be a manager's 6th or 7th pick. I don't know which manager. I don't know what round.
Have you been
but-
cozying up to any of the managers yet?
No.
Or waiting until Spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
He's
Smart.
got an edge here that I think, and I'm just speaking just
Recently.
Well, the edge is that he's here.
Right.
Right. Everybody knows who you are now. There's going to be a lot of these rookies that nobody has any idea who they are, and even their trivia, who knows? But I think people are going to know
bet
that
you're great.
there's a decent chance you get matches because people know who you are.
You know I'm good at trivia, Ben. I get more questions right behind the scenes than you do.
Whoa.
He's trying to start a feud right now. He knows that's not true.
Is that true?
No.
This is true. I've gotten so many questions while we're watching matches that you do not get.
That's
Wow.
not true. He's making that up.
I'm gonna, if hey, nerd.
And I have the top Magic podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Nerd Chronic can use this for a future. If you guys ever play each other,
Yeah.
well, I told him what he should do is something that you did Clark did, Rachel did, Sam, everybody, is to go back. And Oyama is a prime example of this. Go back and watch old matches and learn the league. Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah. If you want to be like I said to him, I said, do you want to just play or do you want to like go for titles? He's like, no, I want to like compete. I said, go back and watch old matches. That's how you get really good at it.
So when you two get together, you sit down and you watch old Schmoedown matches, and then do you touch your penis tips together before or after?
Who watches? Who was it?
They were just saying that Ben and Ben.
No, they don't watch them together. You silly dog.
Backstage. He's saying backstage at tapings.
So still, question remains: penis tips before or after?
Just
What would you
because you
prefer?
can no longer feel the tip, Kate, doesn't mean.
Oh my goodness!
I actually don't understand that joke. Explain that joke.
Yeah.
Explain how that's like. I want to understand that joke so I can laugh at it.
A very loose vagina.
Oh my goodness!
Well,
Wow.
And I thought you were inappropriate yesterday.
well.
You know what? I'm gonna step back. Kate, unleash.
Where did you get that from? When she said it 100 times?
Thank you. I didn't make this shit up.
Oh my goodness.
Goddard
If you
is
had just watched just that, just tuned in for the first time ever, people are like, "What the hell
What
is
the
this
hell
shit?"
is this show all about?
Jeez.
Listen.
So someone just wrote, holy shit.
Listen.
Go ahead.
My point is
Yeah.
that for me to make the joke that I have the sarlacc.
Yeah, right. Then it's okay.
That means that a lot of it's on the outside. It doesn't mean that that's all it means.
It's like a grenade went off.
It's like a grenade run off. Also, stop doing all my stand-up bits. I want them to still come to my shows, you fucktard.
Oh, this is a good show. Okay.
This one went well. This one went well.
This is good.
Content.
Oh my God. All right. So the mothers can't still watch this show, right?
No.
Nah, my
No.
I
mom's
can't.
out.
I don't know.
Your mother's out, is that what you said?
Yeah.
She bailed on it?
Yeah.
When did she bail?
The white women just got
Oh no. I also want to understand that.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. What did she say? How did that
We
tell
gotta
me-
see you, RB3.
Bring me to this conversation, please. What happened? She said I can't do it anymore?
Nah, she was just like, this show's a little too much. I didn't know it was gonna be. I was like, okay, cool.
We lost our first mother.
No.
This is
No.
Is out.
There's
That
got to
can't
be
the
other
first.
mothers
Yeah.
that are
No, I'm saying out of our crew. Like,
Okay.
yeah, because my mother's still listening too. But like, that's
yeah.
that's amazing.
I had to explain. Schlong's a new one to me. I'm not from. And then I had to look it up, and it's like from
There's
Yiddish.
no way your mother
slang,
still watches.
Oh, she does
every
Yeah,
day. Yeah.
totally. For sure.
My mom gets Patreon update emails, when I post something, and she's like, "Your fans can't really want that much stuff, can they?" She said, do you watch? She goes, "About 1 in 10. 1 in 10.
Oh, so good. All right, let's get
Your
back to
mom
this.
doesn't watch, does she?
She does, but I'm going to tell her to skip the first I'm texting her right now.
I know, that's good.
Just
Okay,
skip ahead.
All right, let me go back. Cliff Elora. Oh, damn. Shout out to RB3 for holding it down. Almost
Yeah.
forgot the homie. This is the way. Vinny Santoro.
People are loving the 4-shot, by the way.
Yeah, people.
RB3.
Right, I said that. We talked about it this morning.
We appreciate you.
This was for Clark Wolf, and I'll make sure this is relayed. This is from Vinny Santoro. Because of her match with Ethan Irwin last year, I got hooked on the Schmoedown. Thank you, Clark, for getting me into watching the movie True Schmoedown. That was one of the best matches, and that to me was one of the most heartbreaking moments all time in the Schmoedown.
Is that the South Side of you?
Yeah, Southside.
South Side of me or something?
The actual movie is what? Southside with you.
Yeah, the Obama movie.
Yeah. So Ethan Irwin was this unbeatable force, mowing through people in the tournament. Clark Wolf had a lot of big wins in the tournament, gets to the finals. So the finals are Clark Wolf versus Ethan Irwin. Winner plays Roca for the championship. Clark Wolf and Roca have never met in their entire career, and everyone was waiting for this match. But Ethan was heavily favored. Clark Wolf is beating him throughout the entire match. She whoops up on him in the speed round. All she has to do is hit her 5-pointer. And the question is, what is the name of the Obama movie with when he meets Michelle Obama? And it's South Side with you. She says, South Side with me. She loses the match off of one word. One word. She lost
Brutal. It was brutal.
I honestly hate this game.
I know. When I was listening, I remember being at the desk, and when she said it in my head, I'm like, oh my God, she's going to do, oh my God. And I said, I have to announce this now. And when I did it, I was like, because she thought she had it. You look at her face, she's like, I got it. I just beat him. And then when she hears it, she's like, yep. It was brutal, but it was a great match.
Yeah.
Ethan thought he was done. Ethan thought he was cooked. I remember Ethan's like, yeah, I thought it was a done deal. But
That was just payback for what she did to her little sister.
I know. The story says that's true.
Missing that.
Okay, this is from Aaron Klister. He said, Kate, I watched last Wednesday's episode. Is no one really into semi-pro?
I actually love
I
semi-pro.
know, that's what she's saying. She
Yeah.
knows you did. If
Yeah.
you see a possum, kill it. Who the F is Bambi? Shire Wolves for life. Is that from semi?
Both those quotes are from Semi-Pro.
That's so funny. I just remember
so.
the song "Love Me Sexy" because we used to play that all the time.
Dan Besher, when do you guys start listening to Christmas music? Right after Thanksgiving. So we're already listening
Yes,
to it in my house.
we sure are.
Yeah. Frosty's already been playing in my house, and so is the Rudolph and all that stuff too.
We had to rush Christmas this year because we're leaving early to go out to New Jersey to be with Dickie's family for the whole time, and I feel like the dirty Jers. And for me, I love Christmas in my own house. So the day after Thanksgiving, once I woke up from that really long nap, and ignored my guests, we went and got the tree that day.
Oh,
yeah,
you already got the tree.
Oh yeah,
See, that's a
I
good
had to
thing.
because I'm leaving so early.
I don't know what that was. We're doing it this week. Just be. I'm with Kate on episode 4 of Mandalorian. Dialogue and the exposition dumps felt so awkward, and the new character introduction was too abrupt. It really felt like a bad filler ep. See, I can understand the criticisms, but I won't.
What's this person's name?
This is Just Be. I
Just Be?
couldn't disagree more with
Checks in the mail.
Filler. There's filler once again means it does nothing to further the plot. It's just an episode that is there.
Well, we don't. I guess the truth is we don't know.
We do know that it furthers the plot.
But we don't know because the truth is this is we know that this was a stop and that he has to keep. But there's no. I mean, I guess we have to assume.
We found out inside of this episode. This is a spoiler for people, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So pause it. 5 minutes for this particular episode. If you haven't watched Chapter 4,
All right, let me take
you've
my
been
headphones
warned.
off.
Yeah, but you've been warned. He reveals what happened with him and the Mandalorians. He reveals more about why he can't take the helmet off. There's the
We
conversation.
already knew that he couldn't take the helmet off.
We didn't know why. We didn't know. You didn't know a lot of more details about
I
exactly.
don't know how that's
he was
furthering the plot. That's
how he was discovered.
that's backstory.
But because it's going to tie in later.
I guess
on.
what I'm saying is if the ultimate trajectory of the show is. I guess it's what the previous person said that they're concerned about.
Right.
I hope it's not just 6 more stops at different planets, where he has to protect the kid.
I don't want to say that either. It's like villain of the
so
week
I sort
type
of
stuff.
feel
That's
so that's what I'm saying. If it is in fact just one stop, I do feel like this could be in hindsight we might be like that was kind of a filler episode.
well. It also Cara Dune was introduced into the show.
I know, so
throughout this.
I'm interested to know
she
how
comes back.
she's going to come back.
Right, okay.
She must come back, right?
Yeah, she's got to come back.
Yeah.
Well, she does because there was
When's the Chicken Man coming?
which one's that? Oh,
Giancarlo. No.
Giancarlo. What's his last name? Esposito. Yeah, he should be coming pretty soon. I would assume this episode coming up
I
here.
keep
Dave Filoni's
waiting
doing
for
this.
him.
All right, Haskell 420, the live Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker cast Q&A hosted by Tiffany Smith. Yeah, that was yesterday. She did a phenomenal job. I watched that. Thank you.
Hey.
Christian Alante. He's not a hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. Jim Gordon, The Dark Knight, 2008. Yeah, I mean, well, that's a different thing as far as being a hero, of what your definition of a hero is. He may not want to be a hero, but he still saves people and he does things. He's a hero. I mean, you can say, well, I'm not. You are by definition. He still is, whether or not he wants to be regarded as one. My Name Rules just put in a nice little donation. Arthur Burak. Sup, everyone? Hey. Ben, it must kill you when you're playing during the rounds when there's no stealing. But this is, I don't know, this is from yesterday. So,
He's talking about.
He's
him.
talking about Goddard because he steals bagels.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. Thank you.
Really slow.
I enjoyed the bagel stealing story. I thought it was funny.
It was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
did it
good.
twice.
Yeah.
He's a real thief. Aaron Tejada. Clark and Kate's comments are valid, but the third act of The Irishman is what sets the movie apart from the others. It's like a tragedy and my number one of 2019. I agree. I love the movie.
I don't think that it's necessarily the third act, just the last 40 minutes of the movie that's rough. It's just that it feels like that movie could have been 2 hours and 37 minutes easily. Like there's a lot of the movie that just feels like I've seen these scenes before. This is really derivative, and why is this so long?
Yeah.
It's funny, the discourse around this has changed since it hit Netflix. We were looking into this yesterday. Came out in the theaters.
People loved
huge
it.
reviews.
Yeah.
Now that it's hit Netflix, there's a lot more of me out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. The general public is seeing it now.
Yeah,
So
and I feel like
too long.
I think it's that it's too long. I think the de-aging thing really took me out.
That was my biggest complaint.
Yeah,
was the
I mean,
de-aging.
you guys, hell's freezing over. Bateman and I are really on the same page.
The de-aging, did you see it in the theater?
Yeah, a month ago.
So the de-aging look, because the de-aging didn't bother me in the theater. The only thing that bothered me with the de-aging was when De Niro was doing
really
the
old
stomp.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, he's doing the stomping, and
yeah.
it's like you can't de-age movement.
You can't de-age movement. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
yeah,
And
like-
it just sort of feels like, I don't know, they could have. Also, Jesse Plemons was completely underused. I always hate when they have this beautiful actor or actress that clearly the person wanted to be in the movie just because of the greatness in the movie. But like Jesse Plemons was
he was good in
completely
it, though.
underused. He's fantastic in everything
but
he does.
it's like a role he would have gotten like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
you.
when he was still, what was his name?
Ralph.
Landry.
Yep.
Landry.
Nick Casper just put in a nice little donation. Thank you so much. Gerald Boney, one bagel mistake to a pattern. Hashtag klepto Ben. Agent 66 PT.
I love that old adage.
PTC. Any chance of getting Bruce Green on the show to talk Mando and Fallen Order? He's self-employed now. Left Rooster Teeth. I'd like to reach out to Bruce, and I are pretty tight, so I can reach out to Bruce. He's awesome, and I don't know how far away he is, but I'll reach out to Bruce.
He's the one that did the last minute fill-in Star Wars match the one time.
Yeah,
right?
and yeah. So it was that whole thing, the way that went down. That's probably a story for backstage.
Yeah,
But let's remind me on that. Ask me how that all went down because Sam Witwer and Damon were supposed to play at Collision.
Yeah,
Like,
that's one of the weirdest. That's one of the weirdest title matches ever.
Yeah, because they were. I mean, it was set. It was set to play, and Sam Witwer had to cancel like a day and a half before the actual match when we were filming it, and so we'll
save it.
We'll save it. Just save it. But it was a big thing. The Man 37379. I'm okay with Ryan directing one if he isn't writing it. Okay, so let's just get into this because that's one of the main things. Okay, so Rian Johnson was what was he doing? An interview, Ben? Is that what it was? I think he was doing an interview to where he brought up the Mandalorian. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he was doing an interview with where is it? Cinema Blend on their podcast, and he said, "Hell yeah, man! If I had the time, I would get in there in a heartbeat. I had a set vision for season 1, and it looked amazing. It looked like so much fun. So, would you guys want him directing? That doesn't mean he's writing, because I feel like a lot of people have problems with his writing choices in Last Jedi, but he's an amazing director."
Yeah. Here, my first thing that I'll say is I don't understand why he would want to do it. I just don't understand why he'd want to. I loved Knives Out. I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
It was great, and he's doing. And I love Looper, and I love those movies. And I've said that, and I continue to say it. The more and more I watch The Last Jedi, the less and less I like it. But it doesn't detract from what he's capable of as a director. I think that and I've said it, Star Wars fandom right now feels very much like politics. There's hardcore conservatives and there's hardcore liberals, and it's just if I refuse to see Knives Out. I refuse because he ruined Star Wars. It's like you got to separate it. You're allowed to hate the movie Last Jedi. You can, but that's silly because then you're not a real Breaking Bad fan. The same people too, because and I know some people love the Fly episode. That again was written by. It was directed very well, by the way. Written by Gilligan.
Amazing episode.
Yeah, and so, but the best episode is Ozymandias.
Yeah,
the best. And it's highly regarded as one of the best directed television episodes of Breaking Bad ever.
The only
Wait, which
TV
one?
show to have a 10 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
You know which episode?
It
Sorry.
was the
Ozymandias. It's the second to last one. It's the one where Hank.
So there's stuff that goes down. And so
The Mandalorian dies.
that's right.
Yep.
But anyway, so he is a great TV director, and if Filoni and Favreau have a script and a direction of where they wanted to go, that's my biggest thing with why I think that Mandalorian is so much more, has more chance to succeed than the films as far as overall, not critically but fan recognition, because you have a clear-cut view of where you want things to go and a direction of where you want it to go, where I've said it a billion times over, and I'm as tired of saying it as you guys are hearing it, but like how there's in the movies, it's you do your movie, you do your movie, you do your movie, and let's see what we come up with, as opposed to the television show. This is where we have to begin. This is where we have to end. This is where we're going to go, and we have this all mapped out. Now, who are the directors that we can get to help us do that? If Rian Johnson comes in and wants to help do it, I'm completely okay with it. I don't think he's going to ruin it, and I don't like what he did in Last Jedi. I think it's stupid as hell that the way that Luke died. I hate a lot of the Canto Bight stuff is atrocious. The Maz Kanata stuff, garbage. But I still would like to see him direct Mandalorian if he wanted to. But I don't even think he should. Why would you want to deal with all this shit? Why would you want to deal with it? Just I say stay away from it. Plus, why would Disney want to deal with that right now? Why would Favreau and Filoni want to deal with that?
It's a really tough fan base to please, and it's just a hard place as an artist to be a part of. But I think to speak to Ben's point a little bit about the difference between writing and directing, I mean, I think one of the clearest examples that a lot of movie fans can think of is Jackie Brown, right? So it's the only Tarantino movie from that run that was not written by Tarantino. It's just directed by him. And the movie does feel like a Tarantino movie.
He did write it, but it's based on
adapted by Elmore Leonard, right? Yeah, so it comes from another story. He doesn't create it. So it feels like a Tarantino movie, but it doesn't feel anywhere near as like sort of masturbatory as a lot of his script stuff can feel in some of the other movies, where it's just this original thing that he's just putting so much of this into. Now, both feel like Tarantino, but one of them, it's very clear that when he's been, he's reined in a little bit more, this feels more like a normal movie. If Rian Johnson comes in and directs an episode of Mandalorian, first of all, it's Disney. It's going to feel a lot like the other episodes of Mandalorian. They're going to make sure of that. If he's not writing the story, if he doesn't have like serious creative control.
He's not a showrunner.
He's
a director.
And visually, like people... If you're not writing it, you're literally having to shoot what's on the page. You just shoot it the way you want to shoot it. The performances, the way the shots are shot.
And films don't have a showrunner, but if they did, he was the showrunner of Last Jedi. He's
the author of it.
Yeah, but in for how much freedom he had for that, which is probably a big mistake to be honest. He had a lot of freedom for that. He would not have that freedom in Mandalorian. He would be there hired as a job to direct. He would have his vision of what he'd like to do with it the same way that Deborah Chow did, and the same way. It's not like Favreau and Filoni are telling these people direct it this way. No, you hire a director for their vision, but they tell your story that you're doing, and that's what he would do. So I wouldn't have a problem with it at all, but I don't think it's something that he should do.
This show gets better and better every day.
Thank you.
#S a la carte, #cast iron Brett, #traitor Ben, #bagel boy, #giggle Sabi3, and of course #Darth Harloff.
Thank you so much.
You all make my day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's
Are the DPs different on every Mandalorian episode?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't either, because I feel like that would be one thing that you would, but I just don't know how it works in the business because I've never been on the TV side of things. But you would, if you keep the DP the same.
Yeah.
That keeps the feel of it the same, I would imagine.
Yeah, kinda. I don't know. I mean, and I just
the look of it, not the feel, I guess.
But I saw a lot of that, and I saw Ben Bagel's comments yesterday, and he was saying and I agree with him. He was like, a lot of people don't understand. This is not writing.
Yeah,
they're hiring to direct, and it's like because of that. It's just that's again why if I'm Favreau and Filoni, I would say I really like what he does.
Yeah.
But we don't need this. We don't need it right now. Because if he comes in here and he does it, that's all you're going to hear. It doesn't matter. Even if it's the best episode ever, the people who want to hate it, they're just going to hate it.
They're going to hate it.
They're just not. They're not. It's a lose-lose. You just cannot win in that scenario. So I think you just stay away from it. If I'm Rian Johnson, and that's also why I think he said on that podcast, I'm just so busy right now, because just stay away from it. Yeah. Why?
It used to be like playing Jesus or Superman ruin your career, directing a Star Wars career.
Yeah,
That's directing a Star Wars movie. That's the other thing you can do now.
Well, but I push back on that because even like you said, Star Wars fans are hard to please. Clearly, that's not the case. If you look at Mandalorian, if you just do it a certain way, and that's the magic trick. That's a magic trick.
But I was gonna say that is the definition of hard to please. But if you do the thing exactly the way they wanted it.
No. But that's not exactly the way. But in a way, but if there's a certain way that you can do it, it's a magic trick because there's a way that Star Wars fans, I think that the way that they're looking at the actual universe, the galaxy. How does it look? How does it feel? Is it still set up with the stuff that we love from the past? And I also think that there's stuff that they're just like, and I don't want to get into the politics of it. I saw some really dopey stuff about the fourth chapter, or how they're just saying that it's because of this one episode that it's SJW now because some dopey idiot on Twitter said, oh my God, there's a woman who picked up a gun and she shot. Come on, they're just making it because of a woman. I'm like, that's ridiculous. You don't think there's women in the military that know how to fire guns, you moron? It's like she was an ex-military person, and Gina Carano could kick
My
your,
favorite
kick your
part of
face
The
in.
Last Jedi is when creepy Uncle Luke is hanging out Ben's tent. contemplating murdering a teenager.
Yeah.
That's a favorite. That's a good favorite.
Yeah. So this.
Speaking of which, you've had so much time to think about what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish. Did you come up with it yet?
I still have it.
Yeah. So this is that I couldn't disagree with this more. Nico, who I like, is wrong. Said, Kristian, you're one of those Star Wars fans, and you're hard to please. You're proving the point that you're trying to disprove. I loved Force Awakens. Loved a lot of the stuff that they did. Liked as a film, like very much so. Well, and Rogue One, loved. So I don't understand what that comment was at all.
I just know if Rian Johnson directs, it's all it has to be is a Western feel, like all of them have been. Right. You know, if it's 100% Western.
Oh, you were thinking of that joke.
It has to be a samurai feel, not
Stop
a Western
it!
feel.
Stop it!
No, let's not go down this road.
Don't even.
Don't do it.
Don't even.
Don't do it.
You guys are. You're asking.
So hard.
Yeah, you guys are asking.
We're
for
already
it.
going down the rabbit hole. Let's veer.
shift.
Let's get away from this.
Yeah, we'll shift. But anyway, so
You said you didn't
I
like The
think it
Last
feels
Jedi,
like a
but that doesn't-
rom-com.
all right, good for you guys. Okay, get back to the super chats here. Nico,
Do you want to
Swabber
call your butler in to
again?
scroll for you?
Please. My eyes are
scroll.
getting going to be getting better because I have the glasses are being sent.
Hey.
Glasses are being sent. Yeah.
Where is the footman?
They're custom making.
Kate's on fire today.
Yeah, Nico Suave Regoli again tonight on NBC at 8:30 EST. The How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming Holiday Special. I'm excited to revisit Burke one more time this year. Well, that's good to know because my daughter will actually love to see that, so that'll be amazing.
Do you still have cable?
I do, and I don't want to.
No, I know.
It's
I
pointless.
know. But for something like that, it's
pointless.
great.
Tim Sim, I have a funny feeling that me and PJ Campbell are the last defenders against Death Harloff. Darth Harloff. Regarding The Last Jedi. I don't think you're the last defenders. I think there's a lot of people who still love the movie for sure. I mean,
Ben.
You love the movie?
Love it.
Wow. Yeah, you have weird taste.
I'm a big Last Jedi guy. I love Last Jedi.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay.
The Bens in the room agree.
What did you think of that movie?
To me,
Yeah.
when I first saw it, I really hated it, but
Okay.
now I like it. I like it a lot.
Right. Okay.
I don't like it a lot, but
As a film.
it's a great Rian Johnson movie.
Yeah, it's a long conversation. I'm glad that we
Can
got
I ask
back.
a real question
That
to
is
you?
why though. When every time he talks about Star Wars, I go, fuck, we have to talk about this shit now. Because it always goes from like we have some of the best, most comedic episodes over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second he's like, I'm gonna do Star Wars, and he's so happy about doing it, he wants to do it, and I'm just like, son of a bitch, you might as well have said it really reminds me of politics. It's like talking to my mother about, it's like, did you see what Fox News said yet? No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it. I hate talking about politics, and I just cannot stand when all this shit happens. It's just a movie about fucking Star Wars. Come on.
You're gonna hate the news I've got.
What you got?
Potato shortage. Big news story came out. No kidding. Potato shortage. French fries are gonna be limited this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Limited supply.
What's going
Limited
on in Idaho?
I love how the room got quiet when you brought up French fries.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
That's what they make
Potato
with them.
shortage.
If I would have said baked potato,
Is there a potato shortage?
There really is.
No, I'm saying, is it because of something like plight that happened to the land, or is there a potato shortage because people are gluten free, and so there is more people consuming potatoes?
It's a cold weather and it's weather related.
okay.
And
Yeah,
weather related.
I remember watching a documentary about potatoes, and like it's a very hard plant to grow. Like it's so specific. You have to be like on the day you have to harvest them, otherwise whole crop gone.
So
Wow.
interesting.
And you
Why
guys,
have we not hit this problem? Well, I guess Ireland. Hey, big shout out to Rory and Anthony out there. But potato famine.
Yeah.
Well, it's very famous. guys.
Joseph Nispel says, loving the show. Kristian, what do you think of the idea of Yoda and Obi-Wan using Luke as bait for Vader? That's why they didn't change his name. Yoda thought Leia would become the next Jedi. You guys are amazing. Yoda did think Leia was going to be the next Jedi. That's canon. That's part of the one of the novels that they did. I like that idea that they kind of using him as bait. You know, it would make more sense. Like, We had him out there for 19 years, man. And his last name was Skywalker, and it took you, and we had to bring him to you before you even discovered it. And he's on your home planet. I mean, come on, Vader. We set it up for you. It would make more sense that way if that was the case, but we'll never know. I don't think we do. Maybe we will in the Obi-Wan series. I am very excited for that series, though. I think
it looks good.
It's going to be good.
Can I ask you a real question?
Sure.
That if you, so Mandalorian, I can feel that like I love the show so far,
Yes.
and I'm a casual fan, obviously, and I feel like every episode so far, except for Chapter 4, I've been like really into it. I'm so into what Disney's doing here,
Right.
and I know you feel the same way. Plus, you're hardcore. Do you feel like you would be honest if like there was an episode that wasn't good? Could
100%.
you could be?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Because like I just feel like it's that same thing I've said before. It was like if it's like your baby, you'd be like, it's okay that her eyes cross.
No, sure. I mean, there's a Kool-Aid thing too. I saw Phantom Menace in the theaters like 5 times. I remember defending it with my buddy Chris, and then and saying no, and then go back and watch it. I mean, shoot, even The Last Jedi, when I saw it the second time, I thought I started to convince myself of the stuff that I liked as opposed to the stuff that was really bothering me. But I said it in the last episode of Mandalorian. There's like the one scene that we talk about that is completely out of place, and then there's a couple acting. That's awful. And that's what and all the other stuff, I hadn't seen that yet.
Because I feel like I feel like you're less a Star Wars fan that is hard to please. I feel like you would be more the opposite, like that you might not even be honest.
Yeah, no,
about
I
things
didn't understand that comment at all. I mean, that's one of the things.
I'm like, I don't know.
He's more of a Disney shill
right,
than a Star Wars
not just
shill.
a Star Wars show. Right,
If
right,
it's
right.
Disney related,
That's right. That's right.
gotta get that dollar bill.
Oh, I didn't like Lady and the Tramp though. Is that it?
I don't like any of the live actions.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back to this. We're going to streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. Jim Mason put in a Schmobot. Thank you. We also had Wogged in there. Anthony Nugent. Sammy.
What's up, Will?
Sammy, I love Frozen 2's Into the Unknown, but I feel that Show Yourself is the real star of the movie. That was yesterday's, didn't we? We did that yesterday. I apologize. We did the short-term 12. I'm sorry. I'm just getting back into streamlabs.com/Schmoedown right now. And now we get to Anthony Nugent put in the 20 for the Schmobot. Dilly Bar. Hey guys, really,
Ooh, Dilly Bars are
so really love what you're doing with the new show. It is absolutely hilarious. And I was wondering, what are some of the worst movies of 2019 so far? And what are some of the best solo musicians you guys listen to? Thanks for everything you do, Schlong.
The Goldfinch. That
Goldfinch
was
was really bad.
Yeah, I
that
remember
might have been the
pretty
worst
bad.
movie of the year.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm gonna agree with you.
was horrific.
It was pretty awful.
Yeah.
It was pretty awful. As far as I like Bon Iver. You like Bon Iver?
I love Bon Iver.
Yeah.
I go Bon Iver. for mine.
Stacks, one of my 10 favorite songs of all time.
Mason Jennings is another one too. Mason Jennings, by the way, was in. Did you ever finish The Affair?
No.
You didn't
No, I
finish it
didn't
yet.
finish it. No,
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
He's at the wedding.
Oh. By the way, Sebastian Maniscalco was really good in The Irishman.
He's great.
He's great.
I love that. There's a whole.
I think
Crazy
he's just-
Joe. Yeah.
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 When he's just like, he goes, what?
And he goes, the fuck
Yeah,
out of
he goes,
here!
"Get the fuck outta here!" Walks off. You
But
got De Niro sitting with Pacino.
That's a really good impression of him. He is so. I'd seen him on Comedians in Cars with
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld, and I was like, oh, this guy's nice. Like he's not like busting my size laughing. Then I saw his specials, and I was
yeah.
like, this guy. I understand why he sells out the Garden.
Yeah.
There's no one like him.
No. You don't remember him back in the day from the store?
Nope.
Oh man,
I wasn't at the store. I did like the belly room twice.
No, I mean he was.
I was like the improv
I
mainly.
did the Saboba Casino with him and Brett Ernst, and we went to and we drove.
Sorry.
I know you do that every time.
Ugh.
We don't have,
Go ahead,
so
say
you
Brett
do you
Ernst.
not want to be on when he's on?
I would love to be on when he's on.
No way.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't do it.
No. So when I don't want to get into this. So it's my friend, and so
Ugh.
so we went to the casino, and I remember Sebastian it was myself and Brett and Sebastian closed it out, and he's phenomenal. Man. He's just so good.
He's so physical, and I feel like that's not something that's contemporary anymore. There's not that many. There are people that do physical
It's just
bits,
the way that he says
but
things.
that's what I'm saying. Like the way he speaks is physical comedy.
And because he knows, even like someone on stage and they go, "What?" And you go, "Oh, okay," but he goes, "What?"
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like
and
his whole
it's
body.
just the
Yep.
thing. It's
Yep.
people don't understand
He's
that.
like a master
There's
class.
just ways that you do things that you can say the same exact thing as someone, but if the sound in your voice isn't funny, then it's not funny. It could be the exact same thing. Even if you're talking about something that's not funny, but he goes and moves around like that.
Oh, you're exactly.
Yeah, and then
that's really good.
That's what it is. And it's just like, and I said, why are you doing this?
And also, whenever he does his dad, he's bent over
Yeah.
halfway. You just you're like, oh, he's got a tiny little dad.
Dude, watch the Chipotle bit. It's the best.
And also, then watch him and Comedians in Cars, because
Yeah, I
I
know.
love when somebody's a real person.
Yeah.
And like that's his act.
Well, I ran
love
into
that.
him when we went to the premiere of The Irishman. We ran into him, and I told him, I said, dude, because I've known him for a long time, and I was like, dude, you're the new Benny Blanco from the Bronx, and he loved it. We were talking, but he's like, did you like the movie? I was like, yeah, of course. I love it. But anyway, Dilly Barr said that. Then we had Asphycus. Are coaches acquiring the players in the draft with directional freedom, or are they getting them with characters as is? Oh, I see what they mean.
Oh.
So, can you change their character like when they're
heel,
drafted?
turn face.
No. That's still me. That's still me. And
Can
that's
you
gonna
stop Alonzo, whatever his name is, from getting cryotherapy? Or Antonio Brown? What's his name? Antonio Brown in football. I'm saying
I see what you're saying.
You draft the player as
well,
they
no, but
are.
I think trying to say like if someone drafts Ben, can they say like, oh, I got Ben now, I want to make him heel again and team him back up with it? No, not that kind of stuff. That's what I do. That's the chairman does. As far as the coaches are going to be they're going to have their team, they're going to have their players, they're going to have them as they are.
Yeah.
And then they have to manage them as you would. So
if Dagnino's not your manager, we maybe already asked you this.
Yeah.
Who would you?
Want my manager?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've said it a couple different times.
I'm
but
sorry.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't remember what was on
Like
here
100 times you
backstage,
said it.
but
Sorry.
But I think like when it comes to last year's crop of managers or this year's season of managers, most of the managers aren't really doing yet what I think the managers next year are going to have to do. So it's hard to tell yet who I think is going to be the best at it. I'm pretty sure the best manager in terms of what they're going to offer will be Roxy. It seems like probably Roxy will be the best manager. She already fights for her players the hardest out of just about anybody. She cares. She does know the game. So then I think when you elevate it to that next level, I think she'd be pretty damn good.
What about Kaiser?
Yeah, I mean, I like Kaiser a lot. The thing is, the real like innate understanding of what you need from a manager, it's different player to player, right? Like I'm gonna need less of the number stuff from my manager than say other players might.
But you're going to be there's another reason I think you'll be drafted high, not only for what you've done in the league and what you've done as a player, but I think because you know the game so well that you'll be valuable to coaches, let's say like a Kaiser, who knows the game very well, but doesn't know it like you do. So by having you there, because look at like what the Fife Club did when they had the Shire Wolves and Draco, by having all those key players and Emma, who has learned the game even more so, that's very beneficial. And it will be more so to draft someone like yourself and who knows the game really well. My pick on who I think is, there's going to be 3 coaches that I think are going to be in the lead to win the whole thing. Like if we're going to do we'll do this on backstage also. We're going to be like, whose team, now that we know that the teams and we have the managers, who do we think has the best shot to win the whole thing? This is before we know their teams yet. So the advantage that I give these 3 managers, Roxy, Emma, and coach number 10. Those 3.
Oh yeah, the yet to be revealed.
The person
coach.
who's going to be revealed.
Who you know who it is now?
I do.
That was a big reveal over the weekend.
Yes, it was. The person who is now.
It's Brett.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, nobody knows the game like me.
No, it's true. But the person who is going to be revealed at the Spectacular has a very good chance of winning the whole thing also.
Oh, wow.
So,
But it's gonna be a bombshell.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to the Schmoebot is still open, and then once we'll turn the Schmoebot off. Once we get to the rest of these stories with the Black Widow trailer that drops, we'll talk about that. House Heisenberg. Does anyone at the table watch Mr. Robot? Besides it being, you do watch it. Okay, we'll talk about RB3 watches it. Besides it being the most underrated show on the air right now, Bateman looks identical to Martin Wallstrom, who plays one of the main characters. Google him.
Here's to Who's the Boss winning against the family.
Thank you.
Ludwig Göransson scores for the Mando. And now my favorite music in the Disney Star Wars era. What's your favorite?
Oh man, good. I do love. It's funny because when the music first debuted, I think I said I liked 75% of it or something.
Yeah.
I love it now, man. I listen to it all the time, and
It's really cool.
It's really good. It fits the character.
Yeah.
That whistle, that woo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because even the Rocky part of it actually fits now because it's got that old 70s feel to it. I would say
70s Western.
Ooh, this is a good compliment.
Who is the guy?
This dude's.
Do you think he looks like him?
This dude's hot.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I could see.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah.
You know him well?
You're like,
Nah,
I
I
know that guy. I
recognize
see
him.
him in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, Kristian. Can you see it?
I can see it better now. So I enjoyed the music very much for that one. But my favorite music is this everything that happens in Empire Strikes Back.
I like Rogue One a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of my least favorite.
Isn't that the good? That's the Giacchino one, right?
Yeah, he had 2 weeks. He had 2 weeks to do it, so I give him a pass. But it's like, I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like Star Wars to me. Yeah.
I have no horse in the race.
Good for you.
What day, Kristian? What
canon.
you have Bibiani coming on here on Thursday
Thursday.
for backstage
He'll be on for backstage.
with
And
Janice.
SEN, I thought.
What?
Isn't
No,
he-
he's not coming in for SEN. So yeah, Thursday is going to be Bonnie Somerville finally.
Oh, great.
And then potentially Winston, but if not Winston, and Alex Marzonia will be joining.
And
us.
I'll be on Thursday instead of Friday this
Right,
week. Yeah.
right. So Friday is Josh Robert Thompson coming back.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, Jesus, I miss him
Yeah,
again.
you're missing him again. And Winston will be on for sure, and Brett will be here on Friday. And tomorrow is going to be outrageous because it's going to
heard,
be
yeah.
it's Dagnino, Brett, and Andrew Guy.
That's gonna be good.
That's
too.
going to be an outrageous show tomorrow. So make sure you join us on that one. The Digital Wheel had put in the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Nico Suave Regoli again. Kristian, you left a place that you worked for 5 years. How should I emotionally prep myself for leaving college? Ben, who are you going to make Guy play in his next singles match? And Black Widow trailer felt like The Incredibles meets the KGB. Schlong. Okay. So I mean, I guess we can get into all this stuff here now too. So starting with as far as how you prep yourself for leaving college, if you've been there for a while, I mean, it's always hard when you've been somewhere for a bit, and it's just the next stage of you got to mentally prepare for the next stage.
Mellis is here.
Oh, there he is. That's right. I forgot he was coming in, to be honest with you, because we had this wonderful conversation.
Can't we just scoot up a chair?
We're having so much fun.
Yeah, hey, there he is. Do we have a? Can
My
I,
stepfather.
hey, we need that mic, and I was thinking maybe what we could do is. RB3, do we have? We don't have another mic, right?
You can take this one.
What's that?
You can take this one.
No, I want to have you. Oh, all right,
I don't have to be on. I don't have to.
We don't have to
I
be
just
on.
watch the show.
No, come over and put. We're gonna need. And the good news is, Mark, you might not have headphones, so you might not hear the Schmoebot.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
so that doesn't mean they're gonna stop you from doing.
I
it.
mean, if you guys have business, I have business I can do for like 10 or 15 minutes too. So
No,
if you guys want
sit
to.
down. Just sit down and bring the chair over.
If
Just
people
sit
know
down.
you're here, man, they
Yeah,
don't
no.
want to not
Yeah,
be with
and
you.
did you watch the Black Widow trailer yet?
No.
Oh, good for you. Okay.
Then sit in the corner.
Yeah, but as far as Nico's question goes, you got to prepare. You got to just prepare yourself for when you know that it's going to happen, and then it's the next step that you're going to do, and then there'll be another place or another job or school or whatever it might be that you're going to be at even longer, or you just got to get attached.
It's a thing that we always have to do throughout life is
Yeah.
that like it's the thing that I know you struggle with, and I'm not putting this on blast, you said it yesterday, but it's that you go through these phases and you're like, there will never be a phase that I love as much as the phase I'm in right now.
Right.
I will never love having but you know what, you don't know what the 12-year-old kids, the 15-year-old,
Yeah.
like you don't like, it's going to be great when your kids can drink with you know what I mean, like, so somebody has said to me, because like I do think I let myself go there, I remember leaving college and being like, this is the greatest it will ever be. And in a lot of ways that was not untrue. It was definitely the most carefree I was ever going to
Yes.
be.
Right.
But there is something to be said about like you just don't know what's next, and it might be even greater, and then you'll have to leave that because nothing is permanent.
That's true. And Ben,
Pop my Zoloft.
as far as Andrew Guy goes, you can still next season. You can choose who he plays in his next singles match. Have you been thinking about that at all?
Well, so can it only be active players, or can I take
It's
take
gotta be
retired
active.
players?
No, it's gonna
maybe?
be active
No?
players. Yeah. Why? Who would you have him play in?
I mean, one of the old legends, like this guy, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm an old legend.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's true. I forgot how
Indiana Jones.
loud he is. He doesn't need a
He
microphone.
doesn't need a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably echoey and shit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Take your mic if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let's do that. Okay, so let me get back to.
He's gonna do some mic work.
Well, let's get into
Your special
because
was so good.
I know, isn't it?
It's so good. It really
Everyone
is.
should
Doing
go
well.
watch
It's got like,
it,
what,
thank you.
70,000
My-
views already?
Yeah, like at 75.
My
I think,
parents
yeah.
watched it with me, and my mother was laughing the way she laughs at. Oh God, I forget.
Funny
his name.
things?
Yeah.
No, she like her
The way
favorite
she laughs at
comedian
real
ever.
comedians.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, yeah.
She
yeah.
thinks he's the greatest person on the
Not
planet.
anymore.
She laughed-
He's up
she-
there.
I know. I'm just gonna say Mark
Yeah.
Ellis.
I
Did
think
she
it's
ever-
all right. I mean, I spend my time more about, helping other people and worrying about our environment than pizza.
You're really active on social media, by the way. Yeah, can I bring that up? Sure. So the most ridiculous thing that I saw ever. So Ellis, I don't know if there's a nicer human being than the person
Mark
that I'm
Ellis.
looking
That's
at.
It's all fake.
It's not
That's not
fake.
true.
You're a nice person, and what you do is that he's also he's out there promoting his special, and he
I
has
have the tweet. I have the tweet.
Please,
I
please.
pull it
And he's got a bit about about pizza, and it's a fun, but it's nice.
Comedy show.
It's comedy. So out of nowhere, and this is what I guess the question I have to ask Mark is how this person found him.
I don't know.
So this doctor.
Doctor.
Well,
It's
she's a doctor.
It's there's a PhD associated.
Right. So what does she say?
Doctor
Feel bad.
Dr. Karen Phillip.
Yeah. So
who, when
random.
you go to her profile, she's a doctor in Australia. I don't know what she.
Okay.
What she
Anthony
does.
Nugent.
She would
Yeah.
be called Karen too.
So I posted, "What's your favorite national pizza chain?" I lean towards Domino's, but the Hut made a strong push with the Cheez-It pie. Consider your options and watch my full-hour dog stepfather here. And it's the Pizza Pit. Yeah. And she replied,
Did you know
"Sorry,
No.
Sorry, not sure I really care. My time and mind are spent on other things that matter to me, like world climate, the suffering and trafficking of children, women's rights, protection of animals. But I guess pizza is extremely important to some, too."
I can't believe it. I can't believe
She used all 140 characters on
It's
that
not
one.
like it's not like you're part of the UN. And then you said, "Hey guys, we're not going to cover this stuff today, but you should really check out Joe's." Because I said to her, I wrote back, "Hey Karen, don't be that. Congratulations, you are now that person that just ripped one in the middle of a nice party. In the middle of a nice party, everyone's having a good time. She just comes in."
So the close of the conversation, then everybody else jumps in online. But so she wrote that,
That's
world
you should
climate,
use that. That's not
suffering.
working. Yeah.
No,
Not
the
good.
RB3 mic.
Yeah. Give it. it's not
So she
you.
wrote,
There you go.
"Sorry, the world coughing, suffering, and trafficking, and protection, and all that stuff that she's busy doing." So I replied to her. I said, "Glad you found time in that busy schedule to reply to a stand-up clip about pizza."
Yeah. It was.
I just
everybody.
can't believe you had the audacity to punch down to pizza.
And usually I don't respond to stuff like that, but like I just felt like this is just a golden opportunity.
It's a golden opportunity.
Just put
it's
Dr.
most-
Karen in her,
that
in
was
her face. Yeah.
ridiculous thing.
It was so stupid.
Ever.
It was so stupid. It's like, why? That's who you go after? The guy's talking about pizza? What the fuck are you talking? What are you doing?
She needed to talk.
I have a cousin. Like that. A cousin who just constantly.
Karen just got disowned by us good Aussie.
Said Karen got disowned by us Aussies.
Good
So
Aussies,
there
yeah.
you go. So look,
That's really funny too. It's a shame she didn't come. It's the jousting bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, it's really. Yeah, she should have watched that.
It's
clip.
it was very silly, very silly. So the other thing that Nico was asking about, we talk about it now, and I guess we'll keep the Schmoedown on. That's fine. The Black Widow trailer. So we actually, Mark, you saw a lot of this at D23.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a condensed version of that. And what we saw at D23 was a little longer. This still, as a teaser, was 2 minutes and 25 seconds, or whatever it was. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I think it looks great. I think it looks like a Marvel version of Red Sparrow. The second you put in, Florence Pugh? Second you put her in anything now, she's my new favorite actress. I think she was great in Little
you
Women.
loved
She's
her, yeah.
great
Yeah,
in the Fighting with My Family.
I just saw Little Woman.
She's
like
great,
it?
isn't
Yeah,
she?
it was good.
But isn't
Yeah,
she
yeah.
great?
Yeah, she's great.
She's
She's
so
wonderful.
good. She reminds me of like a young Kate Winslet.
I have
you know?
never seen a Little Women. I've never seen
Any of the little ones?
Nor have I. Nor have I.
Then you should see this
Really?
one.
Never
No, you
read
should
it.
see the Winona Ryder, Susan Sarandon, Christian Bale one.
That's the
first.
94 one?
94.
See, the reason I tell you to see it
93?
because I didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bateman could.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bateman,
right.
you
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
us.
it's right around there.
I did see that one, and I didn't remember it. So I didn't remember the story going into it. I think because this one is the one that people are going to be talking about for awards, that you might want to go into this one first because of the way that Brie Larson tells Greta Gerwig tells the story. She tells it in a different way than the stories have been told in the past. So it would be like the first time. Because I think that's the way you have to do this. If movies have been told a billion times over, what are you doing that's different? And I made the argument for like Star is Born. It's like it's the same movie that the other movies were. Just it's a little different, but not the same way that this is. This jumps and does it. Because normally, do you know what this one is? Like what they do here?
I don't know. No, I haven't seen it. But
So she goes from from present to past. And throughout the whole
there's
movie.
different jumps.
So time travel's involved.
That's
Yeah.
right. Doc Brown
Robots.
shows up 20 minutes into
Okay,
it.
good.
It's like, yeah. Anyway, so
Mark's like, I'll see it tonight.
Yeah, okay.
But let's
Well,
jump.
You
Let's
got me listening.
yeah. Let's stay to Black Widow. The Black Widow, though, it takes place, I think, after Civil War, the movie Civil War, and I believe that's the timeline of where it is. Because I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to transfer in.
What's all go-to snacks at the movies?
You want to all get? What's your go-to snacks at the movies? Pretzels with
Bucket
cheese,
of corn.
popcorn.
Big bucket of corn.
Yeah.
No butter.
Bucket of corn,
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids.
Whatever I brought in my pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the ArcLight, they do those, they like the really like gourmet, like the chicken apple sausage with the baguette, like spicy mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and even if I'm not hungry, I find myself
ArcLight?
still getting one of those.
Yeah, those are
I love
good.
those.
Does
Those are good.
Christian's butler make it for
Yeah.
you?
Listen, cowards,
solid
you have to
baguette
make a
there.
choice. Which is it, cheese eat pizza or women's rights? You're all just over here dodging the question.
That's good. You got that, Ellis?
Yeah, don't dodge the question, Ellis.
Yeah. Cheesy
Cheez-Its
pizza,
pizza.
or women's rights?
I mean, to be fair, I haven't had the cheese and pizza yet.
That's fair.
But you've had those women's rights.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes. That's true. And I support a lot of Dr. Karen's. Like that is the most infuriating thing. Is like
Is
if
that
you
she thinks that
if you watch the rest of the special, I do talk about heavy shit in there.
Yeah, but
and
also-
it's like Dr. Karen doesn't. So
No, she
now
didn't
I
watch
should
this
watch
whole
a new
clip.
This is the
hour
thing-
about human trafficking.
this is the thing that's so crazy that if you make a joke about anything, that then people can make assumptions about who you are on other topics.
Right.
You weren't. It's like it's asinine.
Yeah.
Let's not even give it more airtime.
It's just social media.
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I actually do a bit about Dr. Karen.
Good.
On stage.
That's the thing. Is
Do you?
now you've got a Dr. Karen.
Oh,
that
that's
this is
good.
great.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like when I got mugged.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
best bit. Thank you, man. That pointed a gun at me.
Oh man. So Black Widow.
Oh yeah, Black Widow.
That Black Widow footage at D23 was awesome.
It was good.
And I was thinking about today is because we always make like unfair, like, oh, well, what would I rather see based on what just came out? I haven't seen the Bond trailer yet either.
That's tomorrow.
But I was like, oh, yeah, there was like a little
tomorrow.
teaser or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So I was thinking if I'm at a theater, would I rather go see Bond or Black Widow? I think I'm going to Black Widow just because the Bond trailer has more that I need to be sold on because I just have such a bad taste in my mouth from Spectre
Yeah.
that Black Widow, like everything, and I've seen that D23 footage, so I'm like, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I think so. And it's like I was saying before. I think the transition is going to be. There's going to be more Florence Pugh as we get to the new phase of Marvel. I think this is going to set her up to do more because we know if you've seen Endgame, you know kind of what's going to be going down with Black Widow. So this is a way to set that up, and I think you're also David Harbour is going to be involved a lot in this. And then we also who do we have? Rachel Weisz is in this. It's a great cast. And
Do you see the bad guy Taskmaster? Everybody's talking about Taskmaster.
Yeah.
He's got the orange, like looks like a Nerf bow.
well, this is what.
Oh, he's copying Hawkeye. That's his power is that he sees other people's abilities
and he
can
can
copy them.
That's right.
So I legit thought that was Hawkeye in the trailer. So you know Taskmaster and Hawkeye have fought before because he strings it exactly like
same way, right?
Jeremy, not Irons or Piven. Jeremy
Renner.
He had an app and then things went bad. I have there's a Nerf thing. There's a Nerf. You guys heard about this in downtown LA?
No, what is it?
There's a Nerf like place. And they're turning in like some huge convention center into an all-out Nerf war zone.
Whoa!
You can
Like
go
laser
and,
tags,
rent it out
but
and play.
for Nerf.
wow.
Yeah, until
wow.
December 20th. So you can go do like American Gladiator shit.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That is.
So
Are you going to do it?
I'm looking into
But are
it.
you going to really do it though? Because like you get very excited about these things, but then sometimes you're just like,
When was the last time I got excited about a Nerf war zone,
That's true.
Christian?
That's true. But the only thing would be better if Van Halen was doing the music. How bummed out were you about that? Who was
Billie
it?
Eilish thing?
Billie Eilish. Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
No.
because I woke
What?
up and like pretty much as soon as it happened, So, like I had a bunch of people like writing me and stuff, and I don't.
It doesn't matter because you know
I think
who
this
they are.
is great, but
so
I don't
Billie
like,
Eilish,
Yes.
she's like the 17-year-old like phenom singer.
Yeah, I know.
So she was on Jimmy Kimmel, and she said, and he was asking her about. He's like, you know who Madonna is? She's like, yeah, I know Madonna. He's like, and he's like, what about Van Halen? She's like, who? She'd never heard of Van Halen before.
Ooh, she should have at least pretended.
Yeah.
She should have done a better job lying.
I was trying to think of all the things that I was not aware of when I was 17. Like
17 years old.
I didn't know who Hall & Oates was until I moved to LA.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what Thundercats was.
Okay.
Right.
Until I moved to LA.
She's 17 years old.
And the thing about it is, like, I don't want anybody attacking her because it's not her fault. But what I love about this is that now her and all of her fans
They know about it
know
now.
who Van
That's
Halen
right.
is.
That's right.
Yeah. My take on it is, I just wish that I was Billie Eilish so I could put on
For the first time.
Van Halen
Yeah.
and hear it for the very first time.
No, totally.
There are
yeah.
a few things that I can find I can interact with this guy about more consistently than like 70s and 80s rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I'll text him sometimes like a really thought out text about like the harmonies in Van Halen songs, and he won't respond. And then I'll like a week later I'll like question mark it, and he'll like write a great response because it's like really there's no one else I can write this to. He needs to respond to me
Because he goes like this. Oh, all right.
No, I have to take it on. It's sometimes like people think texting is a conversation. It's not. It's like publishing a little poem. You know? And so like I read a text.
I'm great at it.
I read a text. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's not.
Oh, I'm the worst at it. You know that.
How about this? Do you want my Disney Plus password? No response. That's a yes or no.
That's more of an Irish limerick. And
Now that
I
Ellis
took
is
it for
here,
what
I
it
just
was,
want
and I
to
appreciated
say
the artistry.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have been
Just thank
consuming
you.
your content. Since I was in
that's very
10th
nice.
grade, now I'm doing my master's in film studies.
That's very nice.
Also, I know is a stretch, but I would love to have a Schmoedown in Puerto Rico. McClunky.
Said they have a Schmoedown in Puerto Rico. And he said
Puerto Rico.
And he's got his
I could do
master's now
that.
doing film. So
I've been listening since 10th grade.
10th grade. That's pretty awesome. Puerto
This is
Rico.
how I want to do the robot from now on.
So we have
I
to
want to come in.
we can translate it to you.
I like to have the robot read to me in human.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Dr. Karen is
Oh, there
just
we go.
madly
We got another one.
talk
Dr.
about
Karen.
Vegemite.
I gotta read this.
She can suck an egg.
She can suck
It
an
is
egg.
great to see all these hilarious people on the show. Owen Bateman. Be sure to check out Knitters with Attitude's new album, Straight Outta Glencoe.
That's funny. So, Arbiter, you know that what that reference is right before you get. Okay, I want to make sure. So, it's like, so we did that whole thing last time because Winston was hysterical with that whole thing. He's got you guys still. You remember that thing we did with the saltwater taffy boys?
Oh yeah.
Do you still have that on video?
I might have to dig that up.
I have to play that. Brett and I were in the Acme Comedy Theater. And we did this one show. That show was so good, and there was some Greg Benson, if you know him from Mediocre Films. He was in it. Some really good.
Is this a sketch?
Stuff. It was an entire show. It was like an hour and a half full of just things that I wrote some stuff.
Like a sketch show, though.
Yeah.
Acme Comedy Club. It was really good. So anyway, so that was Francisco Ramirez who said who gave us the nice thing about having the masters in film. Billy Belford said Dr. Karen is just mad you did not talk about Vegemite. She can suck an egg, and it is great to see all these hilarious people on the show. Owen Bateman. I know that we heard that, but I'd just like to read that again.
Just wanted to make sure I heard what Belford said a second time.
And be sure to check out. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So anyway, I want to get back to. I think everybody's pretty excited about Black Widow. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Summer.
It looks good. My only thought on it was I liked Red Sparrow enough.
Yeah.
I thought Red Sparrow was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good enough. It was memorable.
I liked it,
Sorry. It was totally forgettable. That's the point. But I feel like all the stuff in this movie that I expect I'm going to see with the backstory, I have a hard time believing it's not just going to be the exact same stuff I saw in Red Sparrow because.
Right.
Unless it's really inventive, and that was my only concern. Is like I'm just bummed that movie exists because I wish that this Black Widow movie was just doing all of it fresh for the first time. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
No?
it's gonna be different because that was a full-on rated R film.
That was like NC-17.
There's some dark shit going on in the movie. I like that movie. I thought it was actually underrated. But I think that it's this is the Marvel version of that. There'll be similarities to it, but I mean, she's also where Black Widow is at this time period. It's after Civil War, so she still has found like some meaning for her life. Is where in Red Sparrow she was a disaster. You know, like there was all the darkness kind of going on with her.
Yeah, I turned that movie off after the leg break.
It was pretty
savage.
Yeah,
The skin shaving torture.
Weisman and Alex Smith. I've experienced that.
Oh, okay.
Up close.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
Well, anyway, so that's what do you guys think if
Every
you're
time I
watching
hear it's like,
live?
how many on a big win?
What's that?
It's a big
because
win
we're
last
winning
night.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yes,
What happened? Who won last
The
night?
Seahawks won last night.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Also, Mark,
Exciting.
if you're holding the microphone still, we can still hear you. I know you're like, the Seahawks.
Sorry, we can have robots and fart noises. I can't comment my friend about his football team.
I'm
real quick?
just saying, you weren't anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's burps, farts, and answering robots.
That's the name of the
Yes.
show. We've changed
Yeah.
the name
That's
of the
right.
show, by the way. It's Burps, Farts,
Hey,
and
nice win
Arcade.
last night. Mark, we can hear you. Hey, no.
Oh, so you know what? So Mark, by the way, I didn't know you know this. So our friends over at Arcade One Up, they sent us something wonderful. Did you see that?
Hey, wow. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Do you remember that game?
Oh boy. Okay, so I don't remember this particular. I'm trying to remember if there are any Star Wars games at the Tilt Arcade in Patrick Henry
Yeah,
Mall.
that's what I was gonna say.
in
This was
Newport
one of the
News.
first ones that ever came out.
I think I was more in like the Area 51, Mortal Kombat 2,
yeah, so you're a little
X-Men
behind us.
versus Avengers. Is that what that was? X-Men.
Wasn't it Capcom versus X-Men? Was
Capcom versus X-Men. Yeah, that was
See,
a hell of a game.
If I'm going to send
Lethal
that, I got to send a
Enforcers.
picture of this to Riley because Riley will know. This is one of the first like Star Wars video games that kind of ever came out.
Is it like Galaga?
You got to play it. You got to play it before you leave.
Ooh,
It's
boy,
awesome.
yeah.
They just sent it to us, so it's great.
Wow, good.
Yeah,
Good for you.
Well, yeah, I know they sent it over.
Proud of you.
Well, yeah. Okay, listen, guys. So let's get back.
Mark, we're going to need you to put 20 in the middle of the table before you interrupt, like. That again.
Yeah, so they're gonna. You got. So they next time they.
I can read. I can
okay,
read.
you can
I
say
pulled it up
All
so
right.
I can. I felt like it was a little bit of a drag to the
Yeah.
show.
All right.
You can read. I thought you spent all your time thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Where's your priorities, baby carrots?
Hokage Picas says, hello, everybody. Really excited to go to Spectacular this weekend. It's crazy to think that Bibiani or Bateman have a chance to play 3 times that night. Hashtag, who's the boss?
Very excited about this whole thing. I was
It's
at the
awesome.
theater
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, yeah, how does it
Went
look?
to the theater just to feel it.
Yeah.
It was like Rocky when
Yeah.
he's in the arena by himself.
How's it look?
Kind of walking around. It's going to be great. The theater is such a cool setup. I'm a little concerned about the competitor entrances.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to fall.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to
Because
trip.
it's going to be going down, right?
Yeah.
That's
and
all right.
it's steep.
Yeah, I know. It's like
What's the name of the theater?
The LATC, the
Yeah.
Los
Okay.
Angeles Theater Company. And
Okay.
so you go there. There's a couple different theaters in the house, and then you have like the huge lobby where we're doing the Schmoedown
Expo,
Spectacular,
yeah.
Expo, the Fan Expo before. And I'm so excited about this. We are going to have like a 10 or 15-minute intermission.
Yes.
3 matches in after the third match.
Well, I can tell them
because
the card. I can tell them
I
the
need to
card.
pee.
Yeah, so right now you
I'm
do?
going to be up at the desk the whole time.
Oh, yeah, so here's- this is-
so
Oh, that's
I-
right
I-
there,
right now.
We looked at a catheter.
Yeah.
We looked
Well, here's the
into
card.
it.
This is going to be the card. The card's going to. It'll be the expo,
Dr.
obviously.
Karen.
Wasn't realistic.
Yeah, well, the expo will start, and then around like 2:00, the event will start. Janine the Machine will be singing the national anthem.
Very excited about that. Very cool.
And then once that begins, Mark and I will hit the stage. The first match will be Bateman versus Bibiani, and after that, Ken Knapsack will hit the stage. He'll take my place for the next 2 matches. He'll be calling both the second match, which is the Star Wars Championship between Alex Damon and Laura Kelly, and then after that, we will have the Teams Championship, which is the Founding Fathers versus whoever is going to be in the whoever wins the entire
we'll find
tournament.
out the
We'll
day
find out on
before.
Friday. So
Could be me.
could be Who's the Boss, could be the family, could be Shazam. So it's going to be very interesting to see who is going to be playing them. Then we'll take our intermission, probably like 15-20-minute intermission. And by the way, during that time, the managers will be between each match. Managers will be coming up, introducing their new teams. The 10th manager might be revealed by that point.
Obladi oblada SLONG goes on bra la la how the
What the hell is
SLONG
that?
goes on. Obladi
Speaking right now on the robot here.
oblada SLONG goes on. La 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 how the
Well, actually, it's a very annoying
SLONG
beat of
goes
song.
on.
And they put Schwong in it.
Yeah.
It did yesterday.
Oblast-
Yesterday, Clark Wolf was on here. The
I
Schmoebutt
begged.
has not been classier.
I
classed it up?
begged.
Yeah.
I begged.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure y'all had to do a little like.
We did a little.
Hey
up top.
guys.
Yeah. Let's.
It's like when someone you want to come
Yeah.
over to the house is like,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I'm very excited about this guest. Don't do anything stupid.
No,
Don't
then we.
spill anything.
You're right. Then we told him.
come over.
No, then we told him you're coming in tomorrow,
They
so
don't
they
care
go
about
nuts tomorrow. But anyway, so
Anyway, Russell
That's
Wilson
like the
really
speech.
looks
That's like the
prime.
speech you used to give to Andrew and I backstage before matches. We're really excited about this match, but you guys have to understand.
yeah, you still the 2 of you guys are.
I still
so
give
I had,
that speech.
But I had yesterday. Over the weekend, it was my daughter's birthday party. So we had some of the parents over, and I was showing one of the fathers the studio and stuff, and he was looking. He was really interested in the Schmoedown.
Oh,
and then,
Star Wars Atari.
No, but then it was no, it wasn't here yet. And then one of the mothers was really interested in the Schmoedown, and they both asked the same question. is it suitable for children? And I said, it is now.
Yeah.
And I said, and in my head, right away, I thought, because Guy's been a lot better.
Yeah.
You are awful.
No, I've gotten so much better. What was the last time I dropped an F-bomb on the show?
There's something, and Roke is really bad at it too. Roke is really bad too. He's still.
I remember Ben dropping a lot of F-bombs.
Oh, you don't
Early
remember
in the
that? You don't
season,
remember in New York?
Straight to camera.
Oh,
That
right
was-
to New York. I have the conversation. I wrote his promo for him.
Yeah.
And on the thing, he goes, "What'd you do? You threw me through a fucking chair!" And I'm like, holy shit, or table, whatever.
I was fired up. I was fired up.
Yeah,
I
it was
just-
a good
anytime
promo,
a
but
competitor drops an F-bomb on stage, I go to the same place I go whenever the robot starts talking. I just like, oh, look at it, it's a palm tree.
yeah.
Oh,
No, remember
it's an
Makuga
ocean.
in Chicago? Well, Makuga, to his credit, didn't know that we were kind of clean because there are a lot of children now who come to
No.
these shows now and all this stuff. And Makuga in the pre-show was just left and right, and he was very apologetic about it after. He's like, I didn't know, and then since he hasn't done it, and he's not usually a culprit, but Roca and Bateman and Guy are usually the worst.
Everyone's getting a speech before
Yeah.
the spectacular.
Yeah, that's
everyone gets the
Yeah.
same speech. Like,
know,
I
I
don't,
don't- yeah.
I'm trying to single anybody out, but I'm like, look, I want to keep this thing clean, and I know people lose their shit when they get on stage,
Yeah.
and they just forget. But my speech is so you don't forget.
Well, I don't have.
Bibiani's going to lose it because I think he's pretty nervous, you know?
You think Bibiani's pretty nervous?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out on Thursday. He'll be on the show. But anyway, the spectacular, if you didn't get your tickets, it's the schmoedownlive.com. I saw a lot of people actually getting Expo tickets yesterday because they were upgrading because they see what the Expo is going to be now, and they bought general admission, and then people are upgrading to the Expo now because the people that are going to be at the Expo, Kate will be at the Expo for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but myself and Mark obviously will be there. So Ben and Riley and Dagnino will have a table. Merle, Roca, and
Sheridan
Mara will be.
emceeing?
No, Merle, Roca, and Mara will be at a table. Jay Washington and Janine will have a table. Rachel Cushing and Sam Levine will have a table.
Is Brett gonna be hanging stuff up? in
Brett,
there?
no, he's not going to be there. For
Corruption.
Also, I don't know.
He's got 4 more of these that I got to assemble.
I know it's true. Well, I don't know order. But yeah, Corruption will have a table. The Looney Bin, the movie guys. There's going
Do
to be.
people even want me without you though, Brett? We maybe need
I don't
to.
know.
We maybe
I don't
need
know.
to see.
I was
They
going to
just
say
want the
one of
duo.
our talented friends, like a Robert Butler III, for example, maybe a Wanger situation. They need to make a short where you and Brett are playing parents. I would love to see.
I
you
play a
two-
parent
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
I'm just acting at
That's
it.
what I was gonna say, yeah.
I wanna
How's
see
my
y'all
performance
in parent-
going?
Like, I would love to have you and
Yeah.
Brett give. I'd love to watch y'all give the sex talk to a teenager.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I would pay $20 for.
Well,
Yeah,
let me get a few of these. So Anthony Nugent put in a Schmoebot. So did Billy Belford. James Eaton. The 1986 Transformers movie is my favorite animated movie.
Amazing.
Please, Kristian, can you do Arnold as Optimus Prime from that movie? Sure.
He's in it for 5 minutes
I know.
before he dies. We have to skip that part now. It's too sad.
All my friends just got killed up in space. I got to go help out down there. Okay, everybody's getting fucked up down here too. Okay, now I'm here. Now you're dead. You're dead. You've on the show for a while. You're dead too. Okay, Hot Rod, stay there. Don't do something stupid. Come on, Megatron. I'll fuck you up. Okay, I'm beating you. You're dead. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh wait, get out of the way, you moron. Okay, now I'm dead. Okay, now they got to do Judd Nelson. You're going to be the leader with Robert and Magnus. No one cares about him either.
Also
I'd like to
Magnus.
speak with Optimus backstage about the F-bomb.
Yeah.
F-bombs. Yeah, F-bombs, for sure.
Dare, dead of it all, your things.
Such
alive.
Stan Bush. Great soundtrack.
Yeah,
Who
that's-
let
she
the
knew
dogs
it.
out?
Who let
Mark,
the
Mark,
dogs out?
Mark. Who let the dogs out? Mark, Mark, Mark. Who let the dogs?
Ellis.
Outmark your stand-up
if it's
is
who let the
awesome,
dogs
man.
out, it's
Keep
what
it
I'm
up,
gonna do.
man. And my name pronounced like Dwayne, not June, Mr.
Oh,
Harlow.
sorry, Dwayne, not Dune. I apologize. Okay, I'll reread that for sure. I want to have for that dare.
Yeah.
I want to have her on the show.
Oh my God.
All right, Absent good. What up, SEN? Hope everybody's doing well. Please tell me why Ben Bateman looks like a broke $1.25 version of Michael Bublé. Oh, that's
A very nice thing to say.
it's not a
I
nice
thought that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, trust me. Everybody gets one of those. It's happened before. RB3 got a great. I've never seen RB3 got shut down for a second. Then he went, "Nah, I got to give it to you." That was a good one last week.
Would they call
Someone
him Bublé, too?
said I'm the reason that women shouldn't talk. So
Who said that?
and one of the comments.
But that was not on one of these.
No, I'm
channels.
just saying.
Oh, yeah,
People-
it's still
no,
not-
like on one of the things.
not
Yeah,
very
okay.
nice.
Other
I'd
reason.
love to hear about your plight, but I'm a little busy right
With
now.
pizza.
Yeah, sure. Jake Acavetta put in a Schmoebot. Zoltan Hello again from Hungary. Serious question. Why is it that every movie needs to be inclusive and relatable? Are people really that void of empathy? Using hero movies.
That's a great question.
Yeah, using hero movies like yesterday. I enjoyed Captain America, Black Panther, and Wonder Woman, and I'm a Euro white dude. Okay. So who wants to answer that one?
I like when a movie when I start out and a movie is not relatable to me at all. Like I've never been in the situation, and by the end, I feel like I was in that situation.
Yeah.
Like that movie. Remember that movie Maggie, that Kenneth Lonergan movie, where somebody gets hit by a bus and Maggie thinks it's her fault. And I left that theater shake. I was like, have I ever ran somebody over? Like, did I ever hit somebody?
Right. No, it really affected you.
That movie messed me up, man. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's not Maggie, was it? Maggie's
Margaret.
Maggie's the
Margaret.
Maggie's the
Maggie's the
Arnold one.
Schwarzenegger one.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He's close with her. He calls her Maggie.
I call her, my little magpie, my little bus runner over magpie.
That's right. I would like to also say to I Have Spoken, who put in the super chat. We didn't answer his question before. As far as vacation anywhere in the Star Wars universe, mine would be Naboo.
Vacation in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, we're going.
What's the place where they go at the end of Rogue One? That's like a sandal.
Scarif, but it gets all blown up.
But maybe before it gets blown up.
Before it gets blown up.
Recover.
It's like Hawaii.
Yeah.
Scarif.
It's fine.
Pre-blown
Speaking
up,
of that,
I would
like,
think it'd be quite
when it
nice.
comes to Star Wars stuff, I feel like Star Wars, when you take over a city, you take over the planet. I feel like Star Wars underestimates how large planets are.
Yeah. Right.
Like, like I'm not trying to call you out, be like, oh, Scarif got blown up. Like, no, a tiny island got blown up. You can go anywhere on Scarif. And I feel like that always happens. Like, oh, they took over Naboo capital. They've locked down the entire planet. It's like, no, or like the blockade on Naboo.
Right.
Like
Does Hoth have a sunny version of it?
Yeah, not that. I'm okay with like ice planets, but like with Hoth, they're like, oh, we have to beat this Empire blockade by flying straight at it, not anywhere else in the fucking planet.
But Coruscant does in canon have because it's when you see it, the majority you think of it as a city planet. There are parts of it that have the just meadows and shit too that we haven't explored yet in the overall films or anything, right, Brett?
Yeah, I think about this all.
I mean, talk to the people on Alderaan about how big planets are.
Paul Denuzio put in a Schmoebot. Kyle Beckworth, good luck to the team playing in the finals versus Looney Bin or Shazam winner. What a match that will be. Gonna need to play a perfect game to beat that team.
Can I ask you guys really quickly, just on because I know you've been talking a lot about Looney Bin and how big of a fan you are.
Yeah.
Were you disappointed? The idea that they might, because they were such exciting new characters, the idea that they might not make the finals? Like when you started thinking about it, you saw how the fans were responding the first match and the second match. Didn't you just want to see them 100%?
I mean, sure. Drew is one of my favorite people. Yeah. She is she was so excited to be part of the Schmoedown. I approached her because she was a writer for Collider. So when I approached her, I said, is this something that you'd want to do? And she's like, I would love to do this. And I'm so glad you asked me. And then she was the one that said to me, I have a couple ideas. I want to really take the character to an extreme. I want to do this. She and Tom have never broken character. That's why I think when I said that the other day, I said, I think that they are the best characters we've seen since you and Andrew. I think that Mike and Smets and Kaiser are great characters. Smets has broken character so many times, and so is Mike.
You're welcome, Smets.
Yeah, no.
Shazam played
Smets will tell you that. He knows that he has. There are a couple times he told me, he's like, shit, I just, because someone made him laugh on the table or something. No, too.
That's the goal.
Not those two. Not those two.
Shazam been played yet?
What?
Has that match aired yet? Shazam
it did air, and it aired last night.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I mean, and it's one of those things. This is something else. Someone else yesterday, and I want to boot the guy off the channel. Someone said, because what we're doing this year for Spectacular is that it's going to be available for the live stream from Saturday until the following Saturday, and after that, the spoiler ban will be it'll be lifted because we need to talk about it on this show. We need to talk about it on backstage, and we want the fans to be able to talk about it. So I was like, well, why are you punishing the fans then? I said, well, don't go on social media then, and don't find out, because it's the same thing. WrestleMania, if you're watching WrestleMania, you don't get it for free ever. You have to either be part of the WWE network or you have to get it on pay-per-view. And it's one of those things. It's going to be, you'll be able to watch it, but we want the community to be able to talk about it and what's going on, and we want to be able to cover it on this show and have people, because we're not going to have enough material to cover leading up to the draft and everything because of all the things that's going to go down. So if you don't want to be spoiled, two options. First is get the live stream, or if you can, not everybody can afford it. We understand that. And if you can't, wait for it to come out. Just avoid the Facebook group, or avoid, the Twitter with the hashtags on Schmoedown. That's all we ask. We're not telling you have to buy it, but just it's going to be able to be talked about. And now let's move on over to Kaylin Rose. We know Kaylin Rose.
That just got rough, man.
I know.
This has really brought it down.
Spoiler bans, human trafficking.
Yeah.
Hot take. I like Chapter 4 more than I did Chapter 3. Sorry, Kate. Also,
Kaylin.
Yeah. When is
we were doing
Kaiser?
so well.
When is Kaiser and his pinchable little cheeks coming back on the show? Sooner than later. Probably have him on. We'll probably have him back on the backstage. Also,
Pinchable
Kaiser
cheeks?
seems like such a sweet boy. He just got mixed up in the wrong crowd.
It's the truth. Yeah, especially, what a crew he was running with in Orlando.
I heard
love
about
those
it.
guys.
I
They were
saw
awesome.
you guys in the post-mortem of it.
It was really fun.
Was he on when he was on here? Was he full character or was he?
No, he was.
He was. He's such a smart dude.
He's really smart.
He's and you don't expect it because his accent doesn't match. No offense, but he was just throwing around words.
There seems to be
Just
an
had a real
IQ
laborious
ceiling.
day over there.
Yeah,
Like if you're a guy that has a toothpick in your mouth as much as he does, like there's, are you really getting food stuck in your teeth every day?
Yeah.
Then
Snyder
you
did that.
probably
Snyder did
aren't
that
of
for a
great
while.
intelligence.
Yeah. The sofa. Hey, gang, I struggled as a young man until my grandmother took me under her wing. We spent the summer making bagels. She gave me purpose. From there, I always dreamed of opening my own bagel shop. My dream came true only to watch someone walk out with one of those bagels.
Oh, man.
Hashtag Bagel Boy.
That's right, your bagel boy. John Campanelli, the show. Thank you for putting your Schmoebot there. Call to action, put in the Schmoebot. Rock and roll. Sorry I got here late. Did you hear the new John Williams music and the new Rise of Skywalker teaser? It is epic. If so, can you show it so we can see your reactions without getting a strike? I did not see it yet. I'll make sure that I check that out. Does anybody else see that?
Nope, and
No?
I'm definitely avoiding John Williams music because that's the golden rule with Star Wars. You don't want to be spoiled. Don't listen to the music. Don't listen to new music. Definitely don't look at the title track listing for John Williams themes for upcoming Star Wars movies.
That's what suckered me because I'm trying to go blackout with new promo stuff, but someone said they combined Duel of the Fates with the Empire March, and I was like, damn it, I have to watch this, and it's pretty great.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just told me what it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He does.
Always here for you, Mark.
Yeah. Let's see. We get to Rob Mack. What is this? CSI, KFC? Even though I didn't like The Last Jedi, I love Knives Out. I do, however, feel like Ryan has officially writing good comedic dialogue. I feel like it's difficulty. Excuse me. Ryan has difficulty writing good comedic dialogue. What do you guys think on Ryan's ability to write comedy? I mean, that's a good point. I'm trying to think of the stuff that he's done. There were some comedic moments in Looper, but that's not what you think of.
Knives Out is hilarious.
Knives Out is not.
Brothers Bloom.
Brothers Bloom.
is
That's
funny.
right. So so I don't know. I think the majority of the stuff that he did, like I said, I think that there's stuff that happens in Last Jedi that are funny. It's just the jokes are misplaced, and I push back against anybody who says, well, all Star Wars has humor. Yeah, it does, but it's very different type of humor, and I just think that humor. For me, a lot of people in this room love the humor in that movie. I just think it landed poorly in Last Jedi, but in Knives Out, it landed tremendously. So I think he's pretty good at writing comedy.
I liked Knives Out. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Okay.
I saw Knives Out at ArcLight at 11 p.m. Me and my buddy Steve Byrne went after our sets at the Comedy Store. We go, there's like 7 other people in the crowd, like total. And they do that ArcLight thing. Like they show 3 trailers, and then the person who works at ArcLight, like one of the ushers always comes up and gives like a speech, like, hey, welcome to Knives Out.
Yeah.
They brought Rian Johnson in.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And there were 7 people in there.
No.
And he had just done a Q&A next door for like a packed house.
When did you see it?
Tuesday, a week ago today.
A week ago.
LA is bonkers.
It's great, yeah.
Because I
but
know
he got cut
Collider-
off by the movie because he's like, hey, guys, thanks for seeing my movie. And like, 7 of us are clapping. We're excited to see him. And then
And
the movie
7's not an
starts. And he's like, all right, well,
exaggeration.
thanks, bye.
That was the one Mance moderated, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he did it. Was it a week ago?
Because they did one last night, but I think there was another one a week
was
ago
there?
that Mance
Okay.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
because Mance did one for Collider. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. So, and that's
Did the guy bring you chicken apple sausage in the theater?
I did
That's what
not
was
get a
hoping
chicken
for.
apple sauce. We had done the that Stella Barra next door.
Oh, that's good.
Got some meatballs.
The cookies they have there, they're
good?
this
They're
big,
monsters.
unbelievable.
They're absolutely
so
mad.
good.
Streamlabs.com, still the Schmoedown over here. Nick Piccolo. Hey, guys, one of my favorite albums of the year is Green Day's American Idiot, and I thought it was really cool that it became a Broadway musical. What is an album you think would make a great Broadway?
Favorite album of the year?
Yeah.
Pretty sure
years
that's
ago.
not a 19 record.
say that. I didn't say every year. I said of all
say
time.
of the year.
Oh, okay.
but-
Of all time, yeah.
Of
all time. Yeah,
Is
that
Green-
person probably didn't write of the
Is
year.
Green Day's
that I was-
American Idiot, and I thought it was really cool that it became a Broadway musical. What is an album that you think would make a great Broadway musical?
It's a
Cats.
Cats.
Nevermind. Nevermind would be a great tragic musical. Like
Yeah.
they did that A Journey Through Heck, the Nirvana documentary, and it was really dark and like had animated slides and stuff. So just seeing that with that, I think that would make a great musical.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Probably do something like, I mean, they do a full stage show when Roger Waters told us The Wall.
Yeah.
I'd probably say something by Rush.
Okay.
Like 2112 or something like that, or Use Your Illusion. Because you could do 1 and 2, and then you could
get
do like
the-
the break in the middle. Because
see.
that'd be pretty cool.
Except that like 30% of that's just bad songs, so it would wouldn't be great.
I love those records.
I do, but there's
Absolutely
a lot of
love
bad
those
songs.
records.
You know, just text it to him. That's how he prefers to have these conversations.
Casey Van Polen said the greatest score of 2019.
Yellow Submarine.
No, the greatest score of 2019.
Yellow Submarine. That's
is-
my answer. Is Yellow
is-
Submarine. You little.
The greatest score of 2019 is RB3's Laugh on SEN Live. Yeah. That's right. Anthony Nugent put in a Schmoedown. Polka Hunted. Bateman, have you seen the show, Mr. Robot? You look like the guy who plays Tyrell. He did another guy that said the
so
same
funny.
thing. Yeah.
I look especially like him today. That's twice in a day that's
I
happened.
know.
Anthony Nugent put in a Schmoedown, so did Dim Sum, the robot himself. Joe from Seattle says, I'm glad Mark is here. I asked this on live a while back.
Why'd you read it like that?
What? I said,
Sounded a little like you read
nobody
the
else
comment.
was.
Yeah,
Like nobody else
I'm
was.
glad Mark is here.
You know what? Contrary to popular belief,
Do you have your new eyes yet?
Not yet. I'm glad Mark is here on live.
You had it in contrary to popular
True.
belief.
Yeah, I did. That's true.
Nobody else wanted him.
All right, I'll read it for real. I know no one else is, but I'm glad that Mark is here. I asked this on live a while back. What would you leave? What would leave you satisfied as an R2 fan? What is your last wishes for, honestly, the savior of the galaxy? Because our heroes would be pancakes without. Also, did you hear the new John Williams music in the TV spot? So we know you didn't hear the music, but
No.
R2D2. What do you? He's the one that
rolls
been
around with the
missing.
gold guy?
He has been missing and misused in this trilogy. Do you think that he's going to have a bigger role this time around? What would you like to see happen with R2? They're not going to do anything with him.
I just don't want to see R2. I think R2 and 3PO should both live on.
Yeah.
Because there's like concern that like C3PO saying, I'm taking one last look at my, is he talking about them? He's talking about himself. So R2D2, I just want to see him. Like R2, I think should be like a great racehorse. Like you just put him out in the field and let him. That's pretty much what he's doing in the new trilogy. He's studding.
Yeah.
They did, which I'm kind of fine with because you got other droids coming in, but I would love to see R2D2 have one more clutch moment.
Yeah, me too.
If you're a sports fan, he's the Robert Ory of the Star Wars universe. He just hits big shot
Clutch
after
shots.
big shot, and I would love to see R2 hit one more big shot.
Villanelle says, "What is everyone's ethnicities? I know Kate is Irish, so nobody wants to hear her talk again. So how about the rest of you?" He didn't say that, but he just said, "We know you're Irish. What about
I'm
you?
Irish-ish.
German.
All the way through?
Yeah, just pretty damn German.
Did you do a thing?
My mom did it.
Oh, yeah.
Military.
I think I got some other stuff in there, but yeah, it's pretty.
Genes are crazy though, because my mother is part Italian. I have zero Italian.
Yeah.
None.
I
Doesn't
haven't
make
done the
any
swab,
sense.
but from just
Yeah.
just lineage and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Polish, Russian, I think. So that.
Yeah. Arbiter, are your parents both from L.A.?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The mic.
No,
I got it. Yeah. Well, they're both from LA, but
Okay.
I got family from the South, so Mississippi and Arkansas.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So full black all the way through though.
Where was
This is a real question, RB3. If you guys do, when you do, have you done like an Ancestry or a 23andMe? Because I was gonna say, I wonder, do they pinpoint? Because like they can pinpoint what part of Ireland my family's from. Like,
Yeah. I'm sure they could do that too. I'm just scared to give anybody my DNA.
Yeah.
listen, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
they could figure out like what part of Compton.
Right. Ben, Ben, first of all, I don't really trust that your name is Ben, and I don't think that you'd probably be telling the truth. But what are you?
Mexican and French.
That's what I thought. Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
You're lying. son of a
That's a
bitch.
Swear to
great.
God.
I didn't know
It's a
that.
great
Combo.
answer. What
Holy
a great
shit.
Christian answer that was.
Oh, that's,
Oh, that's what I thought. Is that true?
I thought he was lying. I thought he was lying.
That's what you do.
I wouldn't have guessed.
You give the affirmative.
No.
And then you take the information in.
I had no idea. Roka all the time. Roka gets some shit all the time. You say Roka, when you look at Roka, you go, people I've seen it go, he's not Latino. I was like, yes, he is. I would be accused of saying that I didn't think you were. And I didn't know that. So there you go.
Which,
we learned a
which
thing.
side?
My mom's.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
all.
No, it could be.
do you speak Spanish?
I am full white, and people don't think I am.
What's that? Yeah, that is
100% white, and people are like, really?
Is that
definitely not true.
Wait, are you kidding?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's you doing a bit.
There's nothing else. I prefer my genes to be white.
German, Italian, and some other shit. Irish. Okay.
Kristian, I'm gonna dump a bag of 20 squirrels in your house. Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's true. Is that true? That threw me off. I didn't know.
Quick shout out to RB3 for making this 5-shot. If you guys are looking at the
Yeah,
stream,
it's
this
great.
5-shot on the fly.
Oh!
It's amazing.
It's
He's
really
so
good.
That's like Knives Out.
Well,
And then I like to
bad.
fuck it up like
I
this.
know. I think people like it because they were asking for like a more like a wide
Hey
shot.
gang,
But I think this is pretty good. Oh, here we
welcome
go.
back Ben and Ellis. A new AMC dine-in with Prime and Dolby just opened near me.
That's cool.
Super excited to try it out for episode 9. Mark, are you and Kanja Club returning in episode 9?
Did you get that?
If not, schlong, 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 schlong. Congrats on 75,000 views.
Thank you.
Congrats on the
Thank you.
75,000.
That's really
Yeah.
that's
Crazy.
good.
Yeah.
5,000 of those are my mom. I
It's,
guarantee you.
I'll take it. I'll
Do you
take
think
it.
they're gonna ignore Conja Club? Or you think it'll come back?
I think they'll probably know. I'd like to see that actor get another crack
Yeah.
at it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a good actor,
he's
so I'd like to see him do a little more. But I'd also like, because he doesn't die in episode 7, but
He gets out.
some of the other the raid,
I don't know.
The
if
raid
one of them
fellas might
does.
have eaten
One
it.
of them does.
because I'd like to see
Yeah,
them.
Me too. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
There's that one shot that I did see in that Rise of Skywalker trailer where it looks like, I don't know, a Knights of Ren situation or some like rogue group like standing on this plateau, like this desert plateau, and I was like, oh God, what the hell is that? That's gonna be
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
conversation starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Didn't
a good
work
conversation. It's
Didn't
true.
see
No, it's
it.
good. No, these guys don't watch movies. Francisco Ramirez put in a Schmoebot. So did
watch
Billy
most
Belford.
movies.
That's right. Call to Action did. Ben Rayner, Pac-Man Dwayne, PC. We can upgrade for the December 7th show? How? I wanted VIP. I don't know if VIP is still available.
I believe
That's the
VIP
thing.
is sold
I think
out.
VIP is sold out. However, if you go to the Schmoedown site, the schmoedownlive.com, and you go over there to and you contact Jonathan over there, he's really good. People try to contact him on Facebook. You got to do it on the website. And if you ask him, there might be another VIP. Go and check
If
it
you
out.
give me a 20
No,
during
but-
the
no,
expo,
I know.
I
Then
will
she'll
get
get
you
you
in to Alice's dressing room.
Yeah, but you should go. You should check
Come
that
on,
out.
come
Do
on,
you have your
come
suit
on.
picked out?
No, I was thinking about. I'm considering options.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a new suit.
Oh,
that
wow.
no one has seen yet.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
A bright one, perhaps?
There might be a little eye-catching quality
okay.
to it.
Not the orange classic.
Probably not the
No,
orange.
you've done
class.
that a lot.
If
So
if you see me with the orange suit, it means that
you couldn't find the other one.
I didn't want to buy.
All right, fine.
I got too busy.
Makes sense.
A Pac-Man one was one you.
Tetris.
Tetris.
Tetris is in play. Tetris
Chicago,
is
maybe.
Christmas themed? Any Christmas themed possibility?
I mean,
Oh.
it is the season of giving.
It could be something.
It is.
Well, and I think you maybe did that. You did a Spectacular 1, which, by the way, I mentioned this today, was a very underrated match. You and Merle.
Me versus
Yeah, and
Merle.
You came
Yeah.
out as Santa Claus.
I was just do Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The whole
in,
time you'll be so hot in that thing.
I'm gonna be
the whole
hot
time.
regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be brutal.
But,
Come out as a pizza man.
you should
That'll
absolutely.
really stick in Dr. Karen's craw.
Round 5 of the championship match. Before we get to more movie trivia, I'd like to say some words about child trafficking.
They should have more pizza. But anyway, if you want to upgrade to VIP, you probably can do that. But you just got to check out email Jonathan over at theschmoedownlive.com. And speaking of that site, I was there last night. And I was kind of sending Frank the updated rankings. Frank Janish and Jonathan have done such a great job. Have you looked at the new site?
Yeah, it looks great.
The schmoedownlive.com. There's the full promo and the trailer. It starts off just if you're right now. and what I would ask for those, even if you're not, if you're just watching live, can you please do me a favor and open up on another tab, the Schmoedownlive.com, and just look at the site and check out and look at the great work that these guys have been doing right now, because it's awesome. Even if you don't watch the Schmoedown, just to check, because there's rankings there, there's this overall schedule. You can see how it's designed. The Schmoedownlive.com, it looks amazing, and I got to give props to both Jonathan and Frank for all their work over
I
there.
do want to just jump in real quickly on the subject of Spectacular, just because
please.
we only have a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Smets last night, because he's obviously he's prepared. He's been thinking about it, and we were just sort of like, this is pretty amazing. This is the first live Spectacular. So it's a huge event. Yeah. I mean, this is a massive. Obviously, some of the big live events this last year have been great. Chicago was a huge crowd, and Houston was in a wrestling ring. Those are the great things. But like, this is the Spectacular. So this is our WrestleMania, and it's going to be live. So like, to be on the card at the show, we were both just like, this is a pretty epic thing to be a part of.
I think it's
excited.
I think so, and I think it's the tightest. It's the best card I think that we've had so far. We did a poll yesterday what the most anticipated matches for fans, and Mike and Smets was
that's the one. Yeah.
It was the number one most picked by the fans. So that was the one that everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't think it's hit me that this is the first live Spectacular, just because every year we've done them, it's been such a big event. We have so many fans and friends and family show up to the studio, so it's got that live event energy, even from the studio. So I don't know what the leap is going to feel like on Saturday.
It's going to be a lot of drunk people, I'll tell you that, because people have been asking that too. It's like, is there
a bar at this one?
Oh, there's a bar and food.
I'm Ubering there.
Yeah, you're smart.
Is it a full bar, or is it a beer and wine bar?
I don't know. I hope it's just beer and wine.
I need to know.
I hope it's soda pop and root beer.
But there will be. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a full one. It's going to be an event. It's going to be something very special to see, because there's, like I said, all the titles on the line. The finale of the tournament, and people ask, like, if Ben hadn't got hurt, what was going to be the first match? The first match was probably going to be Emma versus Kaiser versus Dagnino. That just got moved from the Spectacular to Orlando. So it works out. Okay, Andrew DiMolanta, we know him.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Goddard, in the Star Wars universe, you have to leave a planet for a specific side, because you have to enter and exit hyperspace from one point that happens to be on the one side of the planet. This might be Legends, though. But what do I know?
I like that. I like that postulation, though.
Yeah.
Like, you had to go through the blockade because that's the only way. 'Cause I was thinking, like, Hoth is probably like an outer rim kind of planet.
Yeah.
And so I don't know you might just go into a black hole if you go the other way. So there may be only one way to exit and enter Hoth. It's like LAX right now. Like, there's only one way to actually get out of it, and it's you guys, holy
No.
God.
Yeah.
Big, I walked.
The 15 minutes?
On Thanksgiving, I just got out and walked.
It's
Like I
bananas.
found a site and I just walked, and I had a beautiful walk.
The changing the Uber thing didn't. Well, we can talk about this later. But
it's
didn't
horrific.
it make it better?
No.
Not in the. I don't think it was the wise move to do it right before the holidays.
just park your
Let
car
them
there.
figure it out.
I mean, it's worth it's.
But that's the problem. You can't find anywhere to park
Because everyone's parked there
everybody is
now.
parked there. Like all the parking
Right.
lots, like the parking
Even
spot.
but then also you have to take the shuttle into, and you're still in the same traffic.
All right, Big B just says,
Nightmare.
great show today, everyone. Well, thank you, Big B. Pac-Man Dwayne again. Who's the most underrated director working right now? Like, he makes good, or he or she makes good or great movies, but they're just not talked about as much. Hashtag Washington Redskins.
James Mangold. James Mangold doesn't get talked about as a real,
Not as much as he should. I think he's
top-tier
starting to get
director.
more after Ford versus Ferrari, but RB3, who would you say? Can we give? We got to give you your mic.
Same or Gavin O'Connor. Gavin O'Connor's the other one.
I want an RB3. He's the director in the room.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
The director is who's the most underrated director working right now? Like, he or she made good or great movies, but they're just not talked about as much.
Well, before this year, I would have said Noah Baumbach, but I think he's getting a lot of
Marriage
Oscar
Story.
acclaim for Marriage Story, so I'm happy to see that.
Okay, cool. Michael Dingus, or Michael Dingus. I want to thank Brett and you guys for talking about depression yesterday. I moved out to Cali, away from my family and friends, to chase my cannabis business. I find myself feeling like Brett a lot. You guys helped me feel just a little bit better. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that
Doing the Lord's work, that cannabis.
Yep. Haskell
Took a little
420 put in the schmoedown.
Little one last night. Get to bed.
You did?
I will say though, as somebody, you and I have both suffered with this, but cannabis, it's great. That's your business, but also not great for depression necessarily.
Depends on the
Can be, yeah. I mean, my psychiatrist actually said a couple times, which is hilarious, about having a psychiatrist in LA that goes like, "Have you tried weed?"
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's
probably
legal
for the
now.
but that's probably for the anxiety.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, I think it's.
weed is technically a depressant.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know people who have done it who have medicated, but I don't think it's a permanent solution.
Yeah.
But there's so many strains, like you can genetically engineer this
I'm just
stuff
saying,
now
get some
and,
cocaine. You're gonna feel.
Yeah. If it's not coming out of a needle, it's not a long time.
If
Just
it's
put it
not
right in your
synthetic,
toes.
I can't.
Yeah.
But God bless that business.
That's right.
Keep that business going.
Give me that
Joe
sweet,
from
sweet H.
Seattle. Joe from Seattle found another $1 in the sofa. Figured I'd use it to let Mark know again that I'm glad he's on the show today. And thank you for the answer.
Thank you, and congrats on your big W last night that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Huge. Are we ever going to go to Seattle, by the
It
way?
was just that Kristian was asking the fans a question, and you're over there in the mic. Hey, you see how I was while Kristian's talking to the camera. But I love that you're turning this into I'm like some dictator that's like, you can't talk about things that aren't on topic. Ellis,
Kristian was busy. He normally would have pointed that out.
This is what I want. This is what I want.
That's right. You know what else? Once a week, Ellis. Don't come into my hometown.
Can you guys give me just like pretend that I'm your teenage son and I just came in and you smell alcohol? Go.
Did you bring me any?
Seriously, did you bring your father any? Because I need him to calm the fuck down.
Or pass out.
Or pass out because he keeps putting that thing all over me and I've got no interest.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun to play
You
with.
have no idea. That's what she said. Okay, found out another dude in the sofa. Figured out how we did that already.
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad he's on the show today, and thank you for the answer. I'm with you also. Remember, there's no Empire Strikes Back without R2 shutting down the trash compactor. That's true.
The hero
That
of the
is
entire
true.
thing.
Yeah.
Shug9323. Kate, that's all we get for $20. Ben told me we get to visit the Sarlacc pit for 20. I'm just kidding. That's good. Okay.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna hit up the super. I'm gonna
You
finish up.
missed a real good one. Earlier.
heater.
Yeah.
I know it's true. I'm gonna finish up a super chat though too because we have a bunch of. them. Please
By the way, I would just love to point out that it's totally okay. Like everybody's like, oh, we can't make that joke because we're not this or that. But it's totally fine for Ben to make a joke about my vagina. Everybody's really okay with that. Everyone's really okay with that. We can't make jokes about anything that's not about us.
We're gonna have this off air because
No.
you apparently are super passionate about it. I shook it off as soon as we were done. 'Cause I
Yeah, you
thought
wanted
we were
to because
joking.
you didn't want the fans
Shook it
coming
off
at
as soon as they
you.
were
The fans
done.
definitely came at me. You didn't see the chat.
Oh.
I was looking at the chat. They were giving
Don't
the
let him
business
be.
to me.
Let him be. Let him be.
if
So
I
don't
may,
worry about that.
It's let him be. Let
Ben,
him
did
be.
you get nervous when the Vikings? They really started looking.
It was a good one.
All right, we have.
Ben and I are
I'm
really
glad you're
okay,
here.
you guys.
I'm glad
We're
you're
We have
okay.
400 super
We're
chats
okay.
to get to.
So we have to. It's almost.
It was
12,
really
so I
more
wanna-
about Brett. For
You
the
want to stay
record.
until
I do.
1 o'clock?
Here's how we're going to do it. Kristian's
It
going to
was
read
really
a
more
question.
about
He's going to
Brett
direct it
Goddard.
to one member of the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
It was about Brett. It was about Brett
Shut
Goddard.
the fuck up, Dan. Dan Besher.
It was about Brett.
Would you want to see Spielberg direct a superhero film? If so, which superhero?
Nah, I'm good.
I don't think I need him to. I don't think I really want him. Would anybody want to see him? If that's the question, is anybody here want to see him do a superhero film? And if so, which one? Because I don't think that he needs to. I think we have enough directors out there doing it. I don't think we need Spielberg to do one.
If you wanted to remake like a movie like The Rocketeer or some movie like that has a real old feel to it, like a real standalone maybe, but that's about it.
Is anybody really jonesing for more Spielberg? I'm not trying to be a dick. It's a
I
real.
like his stuff offset from the blockbuster stuff. I think more. I know that he's the godfather of the blockbuster, and what he has done with blockbusters has been incredible. But the last few, and I guess I'm one of the few people who actually like Ready Player One. But I think that I like his movies when he's getting more deep into stuff. Like I mean, Saving Private Ryan is my favorite Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
So like that
That's
type
really
of stuff, I
good.
like to see him do more of.
Like to see more war kind of stuff from him. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay, Joseph Nispel, Brett, you're a national treasure. RB3, your smile and laughter, they just bring so much to the world. Kate, your energy is amazing. Kristian, your passion and drive is inspirational. I hope to meet you guys one day.
Anything about us?
That was
Oh
so
no,
nice.
I was setting up to take a shit on us. So that wasn't happening, but no.
Two Michael
If
Bublés.
you don't have anything nice to say,
Yeah,
don't say it.
Should take the hint.
Jake Ear, how does COPPA affect the Schmoedown /SEN? I think a lot of people are confused with what is going on with COPPA. As long as you let people know that your channel is not for children, then you'll be okay. It's the channels that are saying that what they're trying to do for COPPA is if you are a channel that is gearing towards kids and towards children, and you don't have appropriate stuff. That's what they're coming after. So as long as if you're writing inside of your thing that it's not for children, then you're fine. From as far as my understanding goes. John Theo, I don't know why everyone is trying to give Ben a Schmoedown name. He'll just steal it when no one's using it. The Hurricane, Jader Paramo. Do you know when the draft is going to be? Spectacular is going to be insane. Can't wait to hang with you guys. Well, so Mark and I are actually going to have a deeper conversation about this after the air.
But while Ben and Kate are yelling.
That's right.
We'll be
We're
the
not
undercard.
yelling. I love Ben Goddard, and I'm fine with him. It was actually the comment Brett had made after that I took umbrage with.
Oh, mom and dad fighting.
When he was like, probably he's saying that because she's commented on it 120 times herself.
We had you did that whole rant, and then I think he was going off of that. He thought it was fair game.
I think Brett was fine for that.
Because,
he was explaining it to the audience.
To the audience.
No, that was that.
You didn't put it.
If I can tell you how you feel about this.
That's right. January 11th. January 11th.
We're looking at January 11th.
We're looking.
Pencil it in.
Yeah. So the draft plus the awards will be all at the Comedy Store main room. We did the Comedy Store last year. It was great for the awards, but we decided we're going to combine it. It's going to be about a 3-hour show. It'll be both the awards and the draft. The awards will happen first, and we'll transition right into the draft. We'll probably have all the coaches on the actual stage itself, and the competitors, and everyone else will sit in the audience. Fans will have the opportunity. We don't know about live streaming yet. We're looking into it, but if we can't live stream, it'll be up really, really fast. So January 11th will be when the actual draft itself happens. Okay, let's get to a couple more here, and then we'll call it a day. We did Mark Calhoun. My favorite part of the show is the amount of work RB3 has to do with the cameras and resizing video frames as you all shuffle around.
Sorry, RB3.
I know, he's going to lose his mind. Jake Air, please bring the Schmoedown to Seattle. The Schmoedown needs to be brought to the Northwest. Fans from Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver, they would love it. I have spoken. Same thing, guys. It's broken record stuff. Schmoedownlive.com. Request your city. If we have enough people who are requesting their city, then we'll know where we can go. Right now, and I'm actually getting on the phone with Jonathan in just a little bit here.
Man, you got a busy day.
I do. And I'm doing Dark Side, Light Side. What?
Don't forget, you're supposed to talk to Bruce. Reach out to Bruce. Bruce? Wasn't it Bruce you needed to?
Don't know what you're talking
You guys doing a bit?
No, we're not doing a bit. There was somebody who said remind me
is
after.
Bruce a character?
No,
Is
there was
Bruce the
somebody that
robot?
they want to have on the show.
Oh, Bruce Green.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay.
So a guy whose name is Bruce that mentioned earlier? Oh, could I be talking about that Bruce? Oh, that's crazy.
Sarlacc.
Thank you, Bateman.
There's too many people on the show today.
Yeah.
French and Mexican. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
That's true.
What?
Well, we're going to go to a bunch of other places next year for Schmoedown. I won't tell you where because nobody cares.
He just made his eyes come out of his head.
Nick Casper.
Kristian was donating $10 to human trafficking while you were
That's true. Nick Casper put in nice $10. Bruce Leroy. Please have Video Drew on SEN Live on Friday. Well, she is. We're booked up on Friday, so we're not going to have any more people in.
Fine, I won't come in.
I know. Well, John Roca. By the way, John Roca is going to call in on Backstage on Thursday, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
So we'll have that. I think we have two more things. Mark C. I could absolutely see Spielberg directing DC Comics Conspiracy Theories Detective. The Question. Don't you agree, Kate?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
100%.
All right, let's get back into this is
our last show.
This is the last one. This is from the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown, and this is the last one for today. Devon, hi guys, senior interviews with Detroit's own Byron Allen. Who did that? Who did it? Did you do an interview with Byron Allen?
A while ago.
Okay. Can't wait to see you back in Detroit, Mark Ellis. P.S. Would like to send you some Detroit vs. Everybody merch for the crew. Love to you, baby carrots. P.S. Why can't I see my comments on the live chat? So when you submit the streamlabs.com, it should pop up actually on the screen, but it doesn't go into the chat for the Streamlabs, I don't believe. So I think that's
Yeah,
I think that's everything.
Talking with Mark Ridley about going back to the Comedy Castle in 2020.
But that is
and who would you rather see open, Brett or Kate? It can only be one.
Oh well.
Oh, they'll pick Brett. There's no question.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did it somehow. We did the show today. Thank you so much for joining us here. RB3,
Hit the music, please. There we go. Thank you for joining us. Go to the Schmoedownlive.com. Upgrade your tickets. Come on over to the Fan Expo, the big event. See Ben Bateman going against Bibiani, Mark Ellis, Ben Goddard, RB3, the two lunatics, Kate and Brett. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's guest, Andrew Guy, Bobby Finstock, me and Brett. See you tomorrow.